I can't hear the music. What the fuck?
I can't hear it either.
Good learning pains here. No, it didn't play, but I know why. Welcome to the show. I'm just going to add that after, pretend like it played. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen, ManaTank Podcast. On January the 12th, 2014, my name is Matt Eads, joined today, Mr. Kevin Byer.
Hey, Matt. How's it going?
It is going well. Eric Peterson.
Hello. Kev, thanks for putting a shirt on.
Fuck you.
And Mr. Oliver Aguilar.
Hey guys, what's up?
Looking at his phone. No,
Yeah,
I know.
I'll put that down in a second.
No music, whatever.
We've got cameras to see what you're doing this time.
Yeah.
You have to act engaged.
We're back, man. We're hanging out. We're Google hanging out.
Until it just randomly stops working, because I'm pretty much guaranteeing that this program is a pile of trash.
No, it's fine.
Oh, well, good.
Yeah, here to talk about video games.
You guys already got to do that for 5 hours without me.
Yeah, it's true.
Long time.
And what a 5 hours it was.
It was. I watched some of it. I didn't get a chance to watch all of it because...
Long goddamn time.
Yeah. I didn't have that much free time at work.
Super long. Assassin's Creed 4, Game of the Year. Who would have thought?
Is that what you guys gave it to?
Who would have thought?
No. I started playing it again because I'm just wrapping things up. But I had a lot more fun talking about it that night with you guys than actually playing it. And it's good.
Give me a quick recap. What did you guys all choose for your Game of the Year? That way I don't have to
watch it.
Marvel Puzzle Quest.
Did you really?
MPQ, motherfuckers.
Oh, man.
I didn't choose Marvel Puzzle Quest, but this fucker did.
I didn't actually choose it.
Yeah.
Kev plays like a cumulative 3 games a year, so...
When it came down to the brass tacks, he was like, no, I don't think it is. It's not really Game of the Year.
I'll name Grand Theft Auto 5 instead.
Fuck, you guys would have given me so much shit if I named that Game of the Year.
Hey,
Never would have heard the end of it.
Whatever. You spent $150.
I would have
free to play.
I would have officially been kicked off the show, not like fake kicked off the show like Oliver wanted me. That's right. I heard about that.
Yeah, it all came around.
Oh, man. I picked The Last of Us.
Oh, really? Because you guys were ragging on that. Matt was ragging on that pretty hard.
No, that game's fun. That
Yeah.
game's great, but is it Game of the Year? Is it?
Absolutely it is.
Is it
Here's
Game
the-
of the
I kind of agree with what Matt was saying in the show, though, because I bought my mom
Thank
a
you.
PS3 for Christmas that had the Last of Us bundle, and she's been playing through it, so I've been going over there and watching her play, and I don't know how I feel about it second time through. I mean, the experience itself, the first time through, is great, but I don't know if you could recreate that. Like, I don't know, I think we were caught up in the moment with it.
You probably can't, but it's maybe, because I haven't gone back to it either, so it's all still in my mind about how I really liked it and the experience I was going through and like the feelings I was having. So maybe if I picked it up again, which I don't plan on doing it for a long time yet, but when I do, maybe it'll be a little bit diluted, but hopefully I wait that long enough gap.
I almost did put it back in.
Did you?
Yeah, like yesterday, and then I said, fuck it, and I threw DMC in the drive, and I played a bunch of DMC.
I think it's kind of the opposite of Uncharted, because Uncharted is great to replay over and over because of the gameplay itself, but the story is really not that good, whereas Last of Us, the story's phenomenal, but the gameplay really isn't the most
I think the gameplay in
immersive.
Uncharted is like...
Dude,
bad.
I played
Bad.
Uncharted 3 times in a row. I got to the end, started over, and I beat it 2 times in one day just because it's that fucking good.
That shooting sucks.
No, it doesn't. It's
Shooting
great.
sucks so much.
That
You
game
beat
is
it 2
great.
times in one day?
Well, I finished it and then started over and beat it again in that same day.
That's fucking
Wow.
ridiculous.
That's it.
I love the
long
Uncharted
game.
games. You can pound through Uncharted 3 pretty quick.
Yeah?
Yeah, you can probably get through it in 6.5.
Did you play the crushing difficulty?
Yeah, I got
Speed
platinums
free
on all
run-
3
speed
of them.
runs.
Oh fuck! I just have to play through the crushing this to get the platinums on like 1 and 2.
It's
hard?
crushing in 2 is a lot harder than crushing in 3, because you got to beat that. I can't remember the guy's name at the final boss, but in 2 you have to blow up those
Lazarevich.
Yeah.
Blue shits.
Yeah, that gets really hard in crushing mode, but I love that game, man.
Yeah, those games are great. I don't know what Matt's talking about.
Yeah,
They're fine, but the gameplay sucks. It's brutal. The shooting is brutal in
It's
Uncharted.
not brutal. It's perfectly
like
fine.
a super bad
Uncharted
Gears of
1.
War. No.
Uncharted
Yes.
1,
Oh.
it is pretty brutal. 2 and 3, they really cleaned it up, and it's really good.
Matt, what would you rather have the shooting be like? Red Dead, where it just locks onto everyone?
Gears of War.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What's wrong with Gears of War?
No, it would improve it. Yeah, I could see, but I don't think it would fit the style of game.
Well,
Yeah, no, totally. Put chainsaws on all those guns.
Oh, fuck.
Nathan Drake is kicking guys over and just chainsawing through 'em. He's Sully, I need you to do the Uncharteding.
Oliver, did you finish?
that crashed plane.
Did you finish the Vita Uncharted?
No, I got
No.
to a point, and I'm kind of like, I really want to finish this because it's actually kind of good, but I don't know.
That one didn't suck me in as much.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I'm rolling around with that Dante guy, and he's kind of off-putting. I don't really want to hang out with him.
You didn't even make it too terribly far into it.
It's the
You-
girl got captured.
Has Dante broken away yet?
I don't know.
'Cause
Wait,
he
it's not.
actually ends
It's
up
not the
being a
first
bad guy.
encounter. Yeah, it's not the first encounter with Dante. Is it? Am I rolling around with Dante? No, it's Sully.
The thing
Like
that I didn't
Virgil's
like
brother?
about that game is that there is so damn much stuff in that game to do.
Yeah.
It just gets really, really overwhelming. You've got those jade pieces to pick up, and then you've got pictures to take, and then you've got chalk rubbings.
Yeah.
And it's just there's too much, and you
And
just
then,
keep
it brings up that card game, Fight for Fortune, and then I don't
that
know
just
what the hell's
shows
going
up
on
out of
with that.
nowhere, like halfway through the game. Like what the fuck is this? Is it some
Yeah.
multiplayer? And I don't know what it is.
Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of shit to do. It's what do you call it? It's overwhelming,
Yeah.
and that's stuff I don't want from an Uncharted game.
I think it's talking about Golden Abyss.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's good graphically. It's great. Really shows off the power of the Vita, but it
Controls well, and yeah,
What is the Golden Abyss?
couldn't tell you.
I don't know.
You finished the game and you don't know what the Golden Abyss
No, I
is?
didn't. This is the only one I haven't finished.
Oh, okay.
So
So good you didn't finish it.
yeah, I should probably get on that.
Well,
There's
here
no
we
way
are.
I'll-
I always pack my Vita whenever I go on like whatever ski trips or whatever. Whenever I'm gonna have downtime, but I also always pack my iPad, and my iPad's just like my first thing. It's like my go-to whenever I need to like.
I have broken away
dump
from console
for-
gaming so hard recently. I've just stuck with nothing but with portables.
It's because there's nothing to play right now.
Let me tell you about Marvel Puzzle Quest, all right?
Is it a game I can spend $200 on?
You sure could, and you can get it on Steam or
In one
iPad.
shot, no less.
I don't understand why that makes a difference, if it's in one shot or
It does,
over like
because
a
It
period
totally
of time.
you can understand if someone spends like $1 here, $1 there, and it just adds up over months. You can totally understand how someone spends $150 in a free-to-play iOS game.
That's a lot of money.
If someone is looking at the fucking purchase chart and it's like $1, $5, $10, $150, and they choose the $150 option, the fuck is wrong with them?
Shit, somebody maybe I just got too much money. I feel like spending some.
Okay, Kev, what did that $150 go to?
It got me. There's two types of currency. There's the currency used to level up your guys, and I got 50,000 of that.
Now hold on, before you go any further, is this game one where just dedicating time you can earn currency through that?
Yes, dedicating time, you can earn currency.
Okay, so you're too damn lazy to play the game.
No, I'm
Time
too
is
damn
money,
lazy
man.
to play the game at the speed with which they tell me I should be playing the game.
So they marketed it
Trap.
to exactly you. That's why
Yeah,
these
good for
companies
them.
make
Good for them on a
millions of
clearly
dollars a day.
laid out business model.
And you fell hook, line, and sinker right into it.
Yeah. You did.
Fucking headband off.
No, what? I love Google. We're on their Hangouts, man. I wish I had a real one. I wish I had a real Google headband.
Keep wearing it. Maybe they'll send you one. Okay, so what else did it get you besides currency?
A different type of currency, which I could use to buy other things.
So 2 currencies.
Yes.
So you converted real money to fake money.
No, I converted real money to a different type of real money.
Like Bitcoin.
Exactly
No.
like Bitcoin,
No.
except more useful.
No, the currency you converted it to has no value.
Yes,
No
it
real
does.
value. You couldn't go into nothing in the world except Marvel Puzzle Quest. We'll take Marvel Puzzle Quest bucks.
I love how you couldn't actually think of a thing that would accept bitcoins as a payment. So, like, you could go,
Lombard or
wait a minute.
Lamborghini and
wait
Ferrari.
a minute,
accept it. You
nobody
can buy-
fucking uses
you can buy
bitcoins either.
A Lamborghini or a Ferrari with bitcoins.
I've
Lamborghini and Ferrari accept bitcoins. Virgin
Yeah, I've
Mobile,
seen-
you can pay your cell phone bill with bitcoins. What
I've
now,
seen
fucker?
stuff that you could.
Did you guys,
use
speaking of
Bitcoins on.
bitcoins, did you see that Kanye West is suing a company because they want to create a new virtual currency called Coinye?
Yeah, that's good.
Coinye West is what they want to call it.
Got a beard hair in my coffee.
Kanye West.
Fuck
So-
Kanye.
Here we are, the ManaTank Podcast in
Where are these-
2014.
Where are these
we-
comments that we're
What's
supposed
the
to be
feature?
seeing?
They're not working. I'll link you to the video. Just remember to pause it. If you're watching it live with us right now, welcome. If you're watching live this Google Hangout, welcome. And if you're listening on iTunes, the video is saved for you up on YouTube. YouTube.com/TheMattEves has it for you. You can see
That
my dope
headband is
headband.
just freaking me out. It just keeps pulsating
I
because your
know.
head is so huge.
No, it's because my head is pulsating,
Jesus.
Hey, why can't I find those options anymore?
like MODOK.
Click on the left where it says Toolbox.
Yeah, I'm totally there already.
This is kind of weird for us because well, at least I was very against internet podcasts.
Yeah, you totally
And I
were.
still
You're the
fucking-
reason why it stopped dead in its tracks.
I still kind of am against
Why?
it.
What's wrong with this? This is perfect.
It's fine now, but how's it going to sound to people listening on iTunes? How's
It's
it
gonna
sound
sound
right now?
fine.
I got a pro tip for you. Nobody gives a fuck about those people.
Well, all right.
There's a lot of podcasts that I listen to that have video components because that's the way everything's going, and I still listen to them audio, and I'm like, oh well, they're probably showing something fucking stupid anyway, so I'm just gonna
Yeah, but
listen.
our sound quality is going to just take a shit. It's just going to take a dump.
Yeah, that'll probably happen.
Because that's what this podcast is going to sound like.
I don't think the people care too much about the sound quality. They care about the content.
I don't like that it cuts to me every time I do that. Now everyone knows who's doing it.
Now everybody knows how ignorant Matt Eads is.
Yeah, you can do a lot. I would recommend watching the video if you're listening just to the audio, because you can do a lot of dumb shit on this Google Hangouts. Lot of dumb stuff.
Yeah.
I'm going to Sicily.
Why was there just a random picture?
No, I'm in Sicily or wherever this is. It's fine.
Venice.
Venice, sure.
I got my porn stash on.
Matt Auditore de Venice. So how about those video games? Anybody played any? Let's start over with Oliver. Oliver, what have you been doing with your life for the last 7 months?
Reading comic books. Tons and tons of comic books.
Doodling, drawing, making a little
Also
drawing.
drawing,
out there?
yeah. I just got a iPad app where I can doodle and draw.
You're drawing Snake over and over and over again.
No, Batman actually.
Oh,
My sister
okay.
bought me a bunch of watercolor and acrylic stuff for Christmas, so I've been getting back into painting.
I don't know how best to show this, but
Just hold it up
Hold
to
it
the
up
camera.
Fuck it.
Hold it up to that
I
PSI.
mean,
We'll see if... No, that's...
Oh,
That-
okay. I see that.
It
Did you
keeps
draw that?
switching.
Oh, we lost you.
Oliver, you have
yeah,
to talk.
I'm there. Hello, look at everybody! Look at my drawings. I'm drawing Batman, Frank Miller Batman.
Wait, are you actually drawing that, or is this like one of those color by numbers?
It's sort of like a thing where I can take layers, and essentially I'm tracing it. But that's how I learned to draw in the first place. So I'm kind of reawakening that. So I took off the underlay, and it just has to focus here a little bit. I don't think it will. There.
Oh, yeah, there it goes.
and then I can just draw over it, and then I do it enough, and then my muscle memory sort of kicks in, and then I can actually freehand that. That's how
You'll be able to draw that exact picture.
Absolutely not.
Ask Oliver to draw like a gangster freestyle Batman, and it will look exactly like that.
No.
So when the religious people drop off a pamphlet, you can turn it into Batman. You can change the face of Jesus into Batman
and not feel bad about it.
Yeah, I don't feel any remorse for that picture I have in Kevin's place.
Should have posted that shit to Reddit, apparently.
Should have. Somebody took my idea.
So drawing? You've been doing some drawing? Dude,
Drawing.
We've been away for since
July.
Yeah, I was trying to think of it. So that is
6
many months. 7 if you count January.
Here's one I traced over of Big Boss, and I'm actually pretty
No,
proud of
see, this is what I was worried about.
Very good.
Nobody fucking
Very
Nobody
Yogi
knows.
Shinkawa.
Yeah, that is actually pretty cool.
Thanks.
But you traced it.
Yeah, well,
basically cheated.
essentially. But I'm learning a lot of how Yoji Shinkawa does his stuff by watching.
He doesn't trace.
No, he doesn't trace. Fuck. Can I swear on this one? Are we
Sure, I
on
don't
by
know.
different rules?
I've sworn. The show is the show, man. We change for no one.
I guess so.
What about video games? You played any of those?
Just not many. The Wolf Among Us I played.
That's great.
I feel like we need to talk about The Walking Dead Season 2.
Has Oliver even played that yet?
I still haven't played it.
Oh, fuck.
Jesus.
Didn't you say on the New Year's show that you were going to play it, like, the day after? Like, I'm going to get it done.
That episode is like an hour and a half long.
That show is like 5.5 hours long, and then 4.5 hours long.
We're talking about The Walking Dead Season 2, Episode 1. What are you talking about 4.5 hours long?
Oh,
What's
I thought
going
we were
on
talking about the New Year's show.
No, nobody cares if you've watched the New Year's show that you were on. We want to know if you've played The Walking Dead season. Okay.
I haven't had much time. I've literally been putzing around on my computer trying to get these Google Hangouts to work.
Yeah.
Because God knows I don't know how to use computers. And drawing and reading comic books.
So you're 8 years old again.
Yeah, love
You
it.
just gotta like fall back in love with The Walking Dead. For some reason, that randomize always gives me the fucking scuba mask. I don't like that.
Oh, I forgot about the randomize.
You just gotta fall back in love. You get a little taste of The Walking Dead in you, and it'll.
I don't know. Christy and I
yeah.
played through it yesterday, and we both kind of walked away from it going, yeah, not as good.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the first episode of the first season of Walking Dead wasn't all that good either.
No, yeah, you're right.
I totally
right.
agree. Like, you're not.
See, this is the problem we're gonna have.
Yeah,
is you idiots are gonna be
No, I'm gonna
pressing
stop
that
this right now.
randomize
I'm gonna
button.
fucking turn this off right now. The first episode of season 1 was really similar. They kind of got to set the scene,
Yeah.
and that's totally what they're doing right now.
The main character runs away from everything that they've known, end up with a group of other people, and somebody dies.
I do like, though, how they definitely made Clementine a little bit more hardcore.
She's super derpy.
Well,
My
no,
Clementine is gangster as fuck.
Kev, the part where she was sitting at the table, there was that pregnant bitch in the cabin who just treats her like a piece of shit. And then when she walks in, how did you have Clementine respond to her when Clementine was sitting at the table?
I told her, bitch, who's the daddy?
So did I. She was like, you better be nicer to me. I did the I'm going to cut your throat style, but then I also went with the I'm 8 years old responsive. You should be nice
She's 12.
to me.
She's 12 now.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
I think she's like 10 or 11.
Whatever. I don't like playing a character like they. When you were Lee, it was like a palette because you never saw Lee controlling Lee. You were always making the decisions. I don't like that Clementine has made all these choices, and now that you're in control, like her character can totally like do a 180. Like you said, now she's a thuggin' gangster who calls bitches out for being pregnant.
Dude, she's seen
That's not
some
Clementine.
shit.
Yeah, Clementine had 18 months in between season 1 and season 2
I
to
guess
become
to turn into a
hardened to the
jerk?
life. It's like going to prison. It's like if Matt Eads went to maximum security prison for 18 months and then came out. Do you think you'd be the same person? Well, you'd probably be the same person, just with a little bit wider butthole. But yeah, it would change you.
I guess. I don't know. Like I'm not playing. Like I played Lee. Lee was a reflection of me, but Clementine is a reflection of Clementine.
You
Like,
can't
the
relate
decisions
to a 12-year-old girl?
Well, she's already an established character in my mind. So the decisions that I make for her are what I think like she stays silent a lot. Lee never stayed silent, but Clementine seems like she would just.
So are you saying
quiet.
that you're carrying over the way that you played Clementine from the previous game to this one because you were playing as Lee before and now you're kind of trying to still make those decisions as if Lee would make them?
Well, no, I'm making them like I think Clementine would make them now. Lee would probably call that lady out for being pregnant. Clementine just wouldn't say anything. She's just like gonna sit there
I could
quiet.
get behind that because you're trying to keep the continuity.
Yeah, it's the same character. So
I don't know. I did like how the first episode started off with a bang. I was impressed that I honestly didn't see that they were going to bring her back together with Krista and Omid because I don't know. I guess
yeah, it's hard to talk around without really spoiling it.
At the end of the first season,
that's right. There were
Lee
those
told Omid and Krista to go find Clementine, right?
I think that's a decision that you can make.
No, I think that's one of the Omid and Krista have to end up with Clementine.
Yeah, Lee told him wait for her at the train tracks.
Yeah,
right?
something like that, right?
And then as Lee tell Clementine either go find Krista and Omid or go by yourself. And I think they just kind of leave that up in the air of, oh, well, even though you told her to do this, they stumbled upon her anyway.
And it's the very last scene in season 1 too, when Clementine was walking in that field, and you see those two figures off in the distance.
Yeah,
that was totally Krista and Omid, and I called that last
Was
season.
it though?
And Eads was all like,
Eads
was all like, those are zombies.
Hey,
She's so dead.
Until we see that flashback and they like pull back and reveal it is Omid and Krista. Fuck that. That could be anybody. That is a bait and switch. They are gonna like pull that out from under you. Episode 3.
Um,
That'll be one of the people that she, at the very end, she goes, oh, I thought you were dead. That's going to be one of the people.
No.
It'll be this previously unintroduced character.
They're not going to pull that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they
No.
will. And then it'll go bad.
If they do that, I'm not going to buy the rest of them.
It's Kenny. Come on, Kenny's
It's
the guy
not
who's alive at
fucking
the end.
Kenny.
Kenny's
Kenny
alive.
is so dead. It's the chick who stole the RV.
No, it's Kenny.
It's not.
Do you guys want to put money on it?
No, it can't be the chick that stole the RV because you could have made a decision to kill her.
No,
you
she
couldn't.
always
She always
gets
takes
away.
the RV.
Oh, that's right.
No
I'm
matter
right.
which choice you make.
Yeah. You kill the other girl. Okay, I got you.
I don't know. It's okay. Hey, Walking Dead's back. Great. Like, I'm not... They're basically making the same game, so I'm not quite as taken with it this time, but I mean, it's still...
That sewing
good.
scene, man. That sewing scene was a little intense.
Yeah.
I thought
Stitching
that
up
was,
your...
like... No, that's... Listen, I fucking cut my own arm off 1 episode ago. The last time I played this game, I sawed my own arm off by myself. Like, this is nothing. This ain't
Look,
shit.
I love The Walking Dead. I'm super deep into the books. Not a big fan of the show, but I really like these games. And I really want to play this game. It's just that I feel like what I loved about the last season was that we'd play we play each episode every couple months, and then we'd talk about it on the show, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was super cool because I'd have some ideas to bounce off. We'd have theories, or we'd have ideas, or we'd have like different interpretations. What are you rolling your eyes for?
Guess I'm not rolling my eyes. I'm getting
I
ready
can
to
see you now.
I'm getting ready to do one of these.
But now that we didn't have the show to really bounce those ideas off, I didn't feel that sort of urgency to play it.
Well, the show's back, so play
recently.
it.
Up until recently, yeah. Also, I kind of just want to play it all in one thing, like when it comes out.
No way.
But
Oh,
obviously,
what?
I can't do that now.
No, don't do that. Because that ruins the whole experience of it. Because that was half the fun of the first season, was exactly like you said, talking about it and speculating, the hype and the build up to the next episode.
Yeah, I maintain that the build up between episodes is like a huge part of what makes the experience.
Oliver, do you play through those games with Amber?
I don't play through them with her, but she plays her own game, and so we discuss it.
Okay, I was going to say, because Christy and I do that. She doesn't play through it, but she and I that's just something that we do together, and then it's just, we talk about it and speculate what we think is going to be happening. So it's definitely better to play them episodically.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
I was really put off by it at first, because, like I was telling Matt when I first started playing it, the QuickTime events for the joystick, I would say 50 to 75% of the time weren't working.
I think you're just bad at QuickTime events.
No, I swear to God, because there was that sequence at the beginning where she's running away from the zombies through the woods, and you have to dodge to the left and then to the right and then back to the left and back to the right. One of the QuickTime events where you have to hit the stick to the right did not work, period. But the one before that you had to hit to the right worked perfectly every time. It took like 15, 16 tries before I got fed up and just started hammering on the joystick in all directions and finally just randomly got it.
Could I interest you in purchasing a new controller?
I did. I had to buy a pink controller.
And does that one work perfectly?
Mm-mm. That's the one that did not work.
Probably because it's pink.
I'm going to have to go and tell you to get a new PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a PlayStation 4.
You would be a terrible customer service person.
I work in customer service. Granted, my pants are usually off, but I'm servicing some customers.
You have pants on right now?
Yeah.
I could tell all of us. That's the beauty of podcasting like this. Is like about an hour ago, I was like, I should go take a shower, and then I'm like, no, wait, why? What? I don't need to shower.
I brushed my teeth for this.
Kev barely put a shirt on before he got here.
I totally brushed my teeth for this.
The only reason I had to put a shirt on is because it's so goddamn hot out. I need something to soak up all this sweat.
It is pretty warm here.
Really?
What do you guys consider warm right
here
now?
too, but it fucking just snowed.
It's like +7 right now.
Holy shit. Your basement's going to flood for sure.
No, there's not very much snow out on there, so we good.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see.
We will.
Walking Dead? Any other... Oh, sorry, you didn't even play Walking Dead. Are there any video games that you actually played, Oliver?
On the same Telltale sort of note, the Wolf Among Us is pretty fucking awesome.
Is that worth playing?
Yes, absolutely. I don't... Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you like those types of games?
I like the Walking Dead style game, but I don't know how well that would translate to something else.
Yeah, well, I mean, the story... You haven't read any of the comic books?
No.
Fables comic books?
No.
Okay, so yeah, it's just a fresh new story for you then, and it's pretty good. And it's in the vein of The Walking Dead, the game, and if you don't really mind that, it's good. The story they tell is pretty good. I need to turn this off.
Are you playing that on PS3?
Yeah.
What does that run for the season pass?
$25. $20.
20, yeah.
I picked up The Walking Dead last week. They had a deal on it where it was $14.99 for the entire season pass.
Look at you.
Or is that
Always
because that was
a deal.
That was because they put out the first episode before the season pass was available. So people who didn't want to wait for that season pass, like me, just bought the first episode and then get the season pass $5 cheaper.
So can you still get that season pass?
Not for $14.99 anymore. That was like a 2-day thing.
Fuck.
You can still get the season pass, but I think it's like $19.99. So, I mean, $15 for 5 episodes of that game, that's a phenomenal price.
Yeah, that's great.
4 more. $5 an episode. We're stuck paying $5 an episode now.
Yeah.
No matter what. Yeah.
Well, that's it. I'm never playing that game
Fuck
again.
it, yep. Price of entry too high.
$5 is too much for me to spend on a video game.
All your money went to Marvel Puzzle Quest. There's nothing left for The Walking Dead.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, The Wolf Among Us is really good. Same thing that happened with Walking Dead. I got into Walking Dead and then the game, and then I started reading the comic books and I really like them. Started reading the Fables comic books. Those are really good too.
That's the Wolf Among Us, right? Fables?
Yeah.
Okay.
How true to the... is it even in the same universe as the comics, or is it like a recreation of the comic, or what is it?
I'm not sure. it's true to the comic books, wherein the art style is sort of the same, and like the idea is the same. I'm not sure where in the canon it lies, if it even lies within like the comic book canon, because there's things that happen in the game that would totally shake up the comic book world, and so I'm kind of thinking that it happens after the fact, after like the comic books, but I'm not too certain because I've only read like 7 issues.
So it's not like The Walking Dead where it just exists within the same universe but in a completely different area.
No. It follows the main characters of the comic book.
Oh, okay.
How does death work in the Fables universe? Because I'm not. They're pretty cavalier about just killing characters off, even in episode 1.
Yeah, like major characters too.
Yeah, which makes me think that, like, I know because they're all supposed to be like fairy tale creatures disguised as people, and they sort of allude to it how they're a little harder to kill or something because you like rip a dude's arm off or whatever, and he's like, oh, I'll grow that back.
An axe gets placed in some guy's cranium.
Oh yeah, that was fucking awesome.
That is something that they haven't really addressed because the first issues of this comic book has Bigby sort of investigating like a mysterious death, and in the end, without spoiling too much, it kind of sort of turns itself back on itself.
Is there even a death? Is it one of those like?
Yeah.
Was there a murder? I see, because they do that right at the end. They kill a pretty important character right at the very end of the first season, and it totally, to me, it feels like it was just so like in and out that it's gonna, that character will probably pull themselves back together and be there in episode 2.
There might be that because of just like the inherent nature of being a fairy tale. Like, there's magical shit that happens.
Yeah.
And there could be definitely some resurrection. I don't know, though. Because before I even read any of this, I played that game, and when that part happened, I'm like, wow, that was fucking crazy.
There's sort of, like... I didn't see that particular thing coming, but... they're kind of falling into a pattern where towards the end of the episode I'm like, okay, some shit has got to go down here. We got, probably 10 minutes left in this episode. They're getting kind of predictable with trying to be unpredictable, if that makes sense.
Yeah, they're just playing the same cards over and over.
Yeah. And now they've got so many more. They've got the Borderlands game now. They've got the Game of Thrones game now. They're working on something else too.
Is Telltale doing the Game of Thrones game?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like Telltale and Skybound, the exact same.
I should probably finish reading those then.
Developer publisher from The Walking Dead.
You reading Game of Thrones books?
Yeah, I picked all 5 of them up on Kindle for like $16 or $17 total, and I just haven't gotten around to reading them yet.
I read like 1, 2, 3, and 4 like back to back, and I kind of got burnt out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of how I did too, actually. I read the first few. The way I did it was I read a couple and then decided that I prefer the show. It's one of those rare cases where I prefer the show.
I haven't seen a single episode of that show. I'm waiting for it to hit Netflix so I can just pound through it.
I don't think it's going to be Netflix.
What? No, it's an HBO original. It will never, ever be on Netflix. It might be on HBO Go or whatever they call that.
It has HBO Go down there, though.
But it will never be on Netflix.
I don't want to pay for it.
HBO Go is fucking awesome. I would love to pay for that.
How much is it?
I have no idea, but I would pay anything.
Let's see.
If only there was some kind of
$150 a month on that.
Some sort of like World Wide Web where people would upload these shows to, so that
I like to have
it. Acquire them, maybe not totally legally. There's still a way for them to do that.
I like convenience. I just want to be able to click on my iPad and say, "Watch this," and it keeps playing. I just want to open my Skype
and have these ISO hunt links show up.
Sometimes it's more trouble than it's worth when you're downloading torrents, because then you're rolling the dice if it's not like a solid torrent, and then sometimes it doesn't play, all that type of shit. With
only
TV shows,
I think people who download torrents are all scumbags.
Yeah, then there's that too. There's that stigma.
I'm gonna torrent the 3rd episode of Sherlock season 3 today, because I don't live in Britain. I don't get BBC.
Big black cock.
I don't get
Good thing.
I don't get the BBCs.
I don't understand why people are
I don't get
all
it.
about the big black cock.
Only housewives if porn is and young girls, I guess, if porn is an indicator.
Train of thought gone. Any other
Derailed.
games? Any other games here, Oliver, that you would like to bring up in our discussion about video games?
More Assassin's Creed.
Uh-huh.
Matt, have you defeated those legendary ships? Did you do that?
I rolled up on one before I was like fully upgraded, and it just like blew me away. And then no, I finished the game, and I'm finished. I don't want to get back into it.
Oliver,
So
do you
I've-
think that this game could get me back into Assassin's Creed? Because I
Yes.
Yeah.
got super obsessed with. I pounded through 2, almost 100%ed it. Skipped most of Brotherhood, skipped all of Revelations, and then played a ton of Assassin's Creed 3, and then got really burnt out on it.
Yeah, I mean, Matt, it got Matt back in, and Matt was the furthest thing away from Assassin's Creed for a while.
Yeah.
What
the
about
beauty-
it draws you back in?
Well, the beauty of Assassin's Creed Black Flag is that they sort of take all the dumb stuff and go, "This is really dumb. We're gonna make it even dumber." It's like, you know, all that like all that anime shit. It's you're making a video game now. You're working
Yeah, to me that
for
felt a
this
little stupid.
Ubisoft that you might have heard of.
I don't think I could get behind that. That's a little too stupid.
No, it's great.
It's
and they,
pretty
they
clever.
actually they do tie it into some interesting, like that Templar Assassins thing is still a thing. They tie it in pretty well.
Well, don't they kind of tie in what's like real world occurrences with what you're making in that video game studio? With you have like this trailer that they actually showed for Black Flag from E3 a couple years ago. It just
The trailer they show you though is for like, I forget what they call the game. It's like Pirate Storm Vengeance or something, and it's like in a world of pirates and debauchery. Like it's real.
dumb.
It's fantastic. It is just
Pretty
just
good,
stellar.
Yeah, I like how they did that.
Are you guys playing it on PS3 or PS4?
PS4, because it's the
Okay.
only fucking thing to play on PS4.
Only thing.
So it's a good thing I didn't keep mine.
Yeah, I got it now.
It's
Yeah.
good though. It's really fun, and the story's really good. I think. I just I think I'm drawing to a close here, because he's just out going and killing everybody that's wronged him.
Mm-hmm. That goes
And,
on for a while. Yeah, there's a bit of that.
He's
It
wronged
just
a lot of people.
yeah, it just ends suddenly. It's weird. Like it just is suddenly over. It seemed kind of out of the blue to me.
But I fully upgraded the Jackdaw, and I figured, okay, well, yeah, these legendary ships clobbered me before I was fully upgraded, but the ship combat is actually pretty simplistic when you get down to it. So I figured once I thought the key to defeating these legendary ships was to just upgrade your ship. But yeah, I rolled up on one of these guys, and I'm like, holy fuck, these are so hard.
Did you get the what, like the elite plans, whatever they call them?
Yeah, I'm like fully upgraded
Oh,
to
I don't
the
know. Then.
nuts.
You suck. I don't know what to tell you. I climbed on one once, like I swam over and climbed up one, thinking that I could just take dudes out and get the ship, and it just desinks you. It's like game
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, because you don't actually capture them, you just destroy them.
You can't capture the legendary ships?
No, they're just
Oh.
there for money.
Fuck that then. Money
And
is like
prestige.
no object. Like every Assassin's Creed game, money means nothing.
And a trophy. That's what I'm there for. For
I don't know.
glory.
There's probably a technique. You like stick right behind him or something.
There
and-
is. I've
yeah.
read like strategies, but I'm like, man, this goes against everything I've done to battleships.
What a good game though. What a fucking good game. Game of the year. ManaTank's game of the year.
Matt's game. of the
Matt's game of the year.
Yeah, that's what I said. ManaTank's 2013 game of the year.
Yeah. Yeah, I like how you guys did that for this year. Instead of us arguing for 5 hours about what should be game of the year, we just have individuals.
We still argued for quite a while. Well, not really
Okay.
argued, but just eloquently discussed our positions.
Yes.
Matt played shitty Devil's Advocate.
What are you talking about? I played fantastic Devil's Advocate.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Oliver on this
That
one.
show went
Pretty
fine.
shitty.
We
Devil's
had
Advocate.
fantastic conversations spurred on by me. Says right under my name in this Google Hangout, the ManaTank. If it's on the internet. I'm just saying.
What else?
Wish I would have brought a bigger coffee to this show. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I'm out too. I could ask my pregnant wife to bring me a cup.
Don't do that. That offends me.
Hey, can you get those
Making your
knitted caps, please?
8-month
Show
pregnant
my
wife
buddies.
do shit for you.
Get those baby
Can I get you
hats.
just run down those stairs, go to the corner store, get me a nice coffee,
Pack of smokes.
bring it back.
Pack smokes. Have one for yourself.
Just because she's generous. It was real weird last night because we had a bunch of people from work invite us out to not a bar, but okay, we'll just say a bar. A bar restaurant over by our place, and
Lounge.
Christy and I went over there with a bunch of people, and she was just coming with to hang out, but about 9 o'clock it just turns into this big club scene, and she's just drinking kiddie cocktails, 7-Up and grenadine, and looks like she's drinking some sort of hard alcoholic drink, walking around with this huge pregnant belly in the bar, and I had to lean down and tie my shoe, and I was going to hand her my beer, like, here, hold. No, probably would make it look even worse.
Everybody kind of. I think everybody knows at this point. You see a lady with a drink that looks alcoholic and she's pregnant. You just kind of assume that it's not. But maybe it is. Who the fuck knows?
So, but after spending a lot of time on Reddit, I've been Redditing lots too. There's a lot of just scumbag people out there, and totally drinking while pregnant happens. Smoking while pregnant happens. It's terrible.
I don't get what's smoking. Like, what is smoking while pregnant? What's the danger?
That's a respiratory system too.
It's the same thing as drinking while pregnant.
Yeah.
It's like if one can screw you up, the other can.
I guess.
Everything
I
that
don't
the
know.
mother
Like
takes
drinking affects. I get drinking because drinking affects you negatively.
The drinking isn't
and
as bad as the
doesn't?
smoking because
other
when
than
you
the lung
drink,
cancer.
well, when you drink, your liver will filter that out, but the baby still gets residual effects of that depending on how much you drink. If you have one glass of wine, it's not going to be too much of an issue, but when you're smoking, that instantly gets transferred into the baby, and the nicotine, and it's just not a good thing. It's better to avoid it.
So what if, like, she started just eating, like, protein powder, sports food, just
That would
driving?
probably also be really bad.
Would you have, like, a super buff baby who's going to be, like, ready for sports? She's going to roll out ready for a game of hockey?
Yeah, you're going to come out like a shit brick house.
Babies are weird. You're going to be on death watch, buddy. That's all your life is going to be soon, is just death watch.
Pretty much. Hey, baby, don't kill yourself.
You can't leave that thing alone for
No
more
way,
than an
man.
hour, you know?
No way. It just.
I don't think you can leave that thing alone at all for like the first
Like,
15 years.
If you got to run into the store, take less than 2 hours. Crack that window a little bit, take less than 2 hours.
I was talking to a buddy about that, because he's going to college right now, and he's home most of the time, and his wife travels for work, and when they have kids, it's like, how are you going to handle that? And he's like, the kid will stay home, and if I got to go run an errand, I'll just go run an errand. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? You're just going to leave your infant child at home?
Yeah, he's probably fine. Here's a remote. Watch, put whatever you want on.
No, he's talking like
go to the
toddler,
store.
like 4 weeks old, just sleeping in the crib. It'll be fine.
Yeah, what do you want? You want me to put Walking Dead on this? You want to play Walking Dead? Here. Throw him the controller. Piece it.
See,
Turn the
I
TV on
figure
for
that'd
him.
be okay, right? Because when,
No.
No,
That's how
it's not.
CPS comes in.
On paper, it's sort of, it's okay. Because when they're napping, they're just napping. You could probably go and do whatever, and they'll be okay. But that's just the terrible way to do things.
Yeah, that's a real shitty thing to do.
They're
It's
not
not
going to
this-
remember that. Whoever is going to know. Are
If
you
that
going to know?
child,
Are they going to know?
died from SIDS and you came home and they were dead, yes, you'd feel bad, but then there's always going to be some sort of an investigation because that's what happens when infants die. The cops are going to come and say, okay, well, what was happening? You're like, I just ran down to the corner store to get me a pack of smokes, and they'll be like, and you're a fucking negligent
I
parent.
turn you back
Fuck,
to my
that's when you lie. You're like, yeah, I was
hear ya.
taking a shit.
turn you back to my former question. Who the fuck is going to know?
Wait, what
Nobody.
is SIDS?
Babies can't
Sudden
talk.
infant death syndrome. Kids can just die for no reason.
He's not going to
Well,
call
I'm
you
pretty
up
sure
and narc
that's
on
just
you.
an excuse for terrible parents who like shake their babies and like, no,
No,
it's SIDS.
No, SIDS is a legitimate thing. Like your baby can be perfectly fine and healthy and sleeping and then just dead.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
why
that's
babies
frightening.
are the fucking worst. The worst. I don't know how anybody makes. Like, I don't know how I made it. I don't know how we all made it to this age. Except for
That's
Kevin,
because
you
shit
know,
like
he was
SIDS
this age
didn't
40 years ago.
exist back then.
The fuck it didn't. It's not like
No, that just sounds like a thing that modern parents have fucking started inventing.
Yeah.
Like don't
80s.
eat sand, you'll get SIDS.
wow.
Tell
Amber
me
told
not
me
to
today
eat
this
sand.
is kind of relevant. Amber mentioned, because she was chatting before we started the show here. Apparently, I not only am I emceeing your 2015 wedding, Oliver, I'm also marrying you two.
She told you about that?
Yeah, what about me says ordained minister capable in the eyes of God and man of marrying two people?
Nothing.
Yeah,
says
nothing.
that.
That's right.
Maybe the Batman cutout behind you says
Full
that.
stop.
But that'd be so cool.
I'm flattered.
Because we're actually getting married here in Canada, and that's like the official thing. That's under the Canadian law or whatever. That's fine. The thing we're having out in wherever the hell we're planning on going is just a ceremony.
So
Oh,
if
so-
I fuck it up, it's totally okay. Is what you're saying?
Wait, so where's the wedding bash celebration extravaganza gonna be?
The Aguilar Miro wedding extravaganza will probably be in Costa Rica.
She's just gonna be Amber Aguilar after this wedding, right? Not Amber Aguilar Miro. Okay.
Well, that,
It'd be Miro.
I'm pretty sure she wants to do that, but she keeps teasing like she wants to keep her name. All that.
Just
bullshit.
have her put her last name as her middle name.
Well, no, it's really easy. Just tell her if she tries to keep her last name, you'll divorce her.
Wedding's off. Forget it. Yeah.
Kev's old school.
Just be like, what the fuck do you think this is? 2014?
Just saying, Oliver Aguilar has a better ring to it than Oliver Miro.
I'm not taking her last name.
Yeah, you say that now, but
There are some guys that do.
Yeah,
listen,
situation.
when I'm marrying you two, I'm pretty sure that means I'm in charge. So I think whatever I say up there goes. Who
She told
knows
me-
what that last
You told
name
me
is
that
gonna
you
be?
wouldn't be down with it. You said that you wouldn't be down with it.
I said I would be down to MC, and then she's like, "Oh, you're gonna be study up
No.
on your scripture, because I guess you're gonna be marrying us." Like,
See, I suggested that because I thought that would be a good idea, and she's like, no, absolutely not.
she just told me that she was. That's how it was.
That's not how it was. It's
Shit, I
not
went
how
to
it
private
is.
school. I'll do it.
I went to private
The original plan was to have all three of you up there, remember?
Fuck,
I
I'll
don't
be
think
there.
she would have fucking. Do you think she would have went for that?
All three of you guys.
Can we turn the cameras on? How do we feel about live streaming
Wait.
your wedding?
Up where?
Up there marrying me.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
Up on front center stage up there.
Triple ceremony, or triple, what are you guys called?
Triple ministers?
Triple ministers.
Either that or we could be the commentary panel in the back for the live stream.
That's what I'm saying. Live stream this whole fucking wedding. Kevin and Eric run color commentary. I'm up there marrying these two people, apparently.
By the end of that ceremony, Kevin and I would be so ignorantly drunk.
Just wait till you see how drunk the fucking MC/minister is gonna be.
Hey, says you. Maybe it'll be like one of those weddings that I emceed where they're like, no, you can't drink.
No,
Sorry.
that's every wedding you MC. You say I can't. You're like, I better not drink. I have to MC.
Do you
No, that's
MC
not
a lot
true.
of weddings?
Three or
Yeah,
four?
lots.
Kevin, you've married people, haven't you? I've heard this story.
I've married tons of people before.
No, he
I
hasn't. No, you
I
haven't.
go down to the downtown in Edmonton, find two drunken homeless people, round them up and be like, I will trade you this single beer if you let me marry you two.
He's
And they're
abusing
always
your
like,
power,
hell yeah.
marrying people against their will. You two are married
Not
now.
against their will, they are getting a free beer out of it.
Yeah, they accept.
Any other games?
No. Are there any other games worth playing right now?
Not.
Fucking- Do you have a 3DS?
Amber does.
You should
Hey.
get Mario and Luigi Dream Team.
You should get
What's
a
that
link
one about?
between worlds. Fuck whatever he just said.
I don't like Legend of Zelda.
You would
Not
love
even
Link
old
Between
school like Link to the Past.
I do like Link to the Past, but I just feel like I don't.
Worlds. If you like Link to the Past, you will love Link Between Worlds.
That's
Like-
what. Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
got.
that's a good. Yeah.
That
That's
game
what
is,
everybody says, but I mean, I just can't believe them.
no, it's phenomenal. That game is that game's tied for my game of the year from last year.
I meant to
Mike-
give that an honorable mention in my game of the year list, but I was kind of drunk, so it didn't make it.
Yeah.
My cousin has that game. I'll borrow it from him.
At least play because it introduces a lot of novel
Seriously,
concepts.
up on my doorstep.
It's good. It's quite good.
I was all the time I've been spending on my computer. I've been
Rust.
I want to look up what does it take to get Steam Big Picture up on my TV.
A long HDMI cord, and that's about it.
Yeah.
How
Or a
about
Steambox.
controller-wise?
Just use whatever the hell you use on your PC. Basically, you're just turning your computer into a monitor, and then you hit Big Picture, and that's it.
TV into a monitor.
I think PS4 controllers actually have PC support.
Is that right?
I don't know if it's fully native.
Well, is it super native or is it regular native? Like,
I don't know if it's fully supported. There may be parts of it that are supported.
Wasn't even that good. Oliver had to leave.
It really wasn't even that good.
no, it was. I'm pretty sure you plug a PS4 controller into your PC. Hey, you know what? I can try it
Don't
right
you,
now.
Oliver? Don't you have an Xbox 360 controller, a wired one?
I don't actually. I only have cordless ones.
Just use your PS3 controller then.
No, because then you have to Then you have all the
Yeah.
problems like Eric has, and you're like, no, it's not, because I have to run 7 programs to emulate an Xbox controller. It's supposed to. It's the program's fault.
I've tried that, and I have that program because I remember
Oh.
using it before. It's just I don't know how to use it anymore.
Plugging in this PS4 controller to see if it worked apparently killed my sound.
I still hear you. Can you hear me? You hear me, Matt?
There you go. Gotcha. I'm back.
Anybody else hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can all hear you.
All right,
I was just freaking.
I'm plugging in, seeing what happens. Installing device driver software.
Yeah. So I kind of want to get Steam Big Picture up going because fucking games are cheap.
Totally
Yeah.
works. Look at this. I got a PS4 controller right now, plugged in.
Does it?
Yeah.
Can
All
you
I did was
play
plug it
game?
in. Look at that. The light turned on and everything.
Can
I don't
you
know.
Play game.
Sure. To keep talking, don't be totally silent.
Or Oliver, you could get one of those wireless 360 adapters. I've been trying to hunt one of those down in stores, but apparently they're discontinued, so you just have to buy them online.
Just buy a wired 360 controller. No, wait. Does the PlayStation 3 sync with that wireless?
You could get a Bluetooth little dongle, and then that would sync together wirelessly.
Same thing though. Then you have to emulate. That's
Yeah.
like with Steam Big Picture especially. I feel like you just want to use.
Just spend the $12
they
and
support.
get one of those Microsoft PC wireless receivers.
Isn't there just a PC controller that I can get?
Oh,
There it is. They're kind of shitty though.
yeah, but most games will, if they support controllers, they support Xbox controllers. So
What is a
Get one of
game
those.
that
let's
uses
see.
a controller?
Batman.
Okay. I don't know what's gonna happen. My computer might just crash. We'll see.
I hope that's what
We'll
happens.
see how it goes down. I don't know. We'll see what
Stream's
happens.
over, people.
I am launching Batman Arkham Origins to see if this PS4 controller works. We're bringing you live. Little drum roll.
I hate you so much.
Didn't crash. Okay, click to start. Oh no, it's not. It's not.
That's
working
about
for me.
it. Have you guys ever played a game called Monaco?
No,
It's like multiplayer Pac-Man. I guess Pac-Man is multiplayer.
It's very Pac-Man-ish, but it's actually really fun. Have you guys even heard of it?
I
Yes.
saw you tweeting
No.
about it a while ago.
Did I tweet that? I'm not sure.
So
I
this
tweeted
totally
that.
didn't work, by the way. I cannot control Batman specifically with this PS4 controller.
Who can you control?
I don't know. I probably have to download emulation software if I want to. Just get a wired Xbox One.
Those
those
cords
still
are long
available in
enough.
stores?
Are they what?
Are they still available in stores?
Oh yeah. They're like
And-
$50. They're like $50 still. For
And yeah,
some
also-
fucking reason.
How long are the cords?
They're like
I don't know.
25 feet. They're pretty long.
Let's see. No, this is not 25 feet. This is like
I need a long cord.
what's my arm reach? 6 feet? 6.
It's how tall you are.
So like 10
Okay,
feet.
it's maybe. Oh,
It's probably 10 feet long.
Yeah, so I
25
also need a super long cord to reach my couch.
so get a PC wireless receiver. That'll solve all your problems.
Going.
$12.
go and buy that Microsoft wireless thing, and then go buy a wireless. You probably have a wireless Xbox controller.
Yeah.
So there you go. What's the problem?
Laziness.
Oh, okay.
You can order it online and they deliver it to your door.
My resistance to use Microsoft products.
Hey, Microsoft has been like getting on board with all that shit you wanted. Always online. No one can ever play used games.
Also, my
Straight out of
resistance
camp all over.
towards computer gaming.
But this is like closing that gap. You're not computer gaming anymore. You're
Couch gaming.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you technically are computer gaming. You're not keyboard gaming anymore. It's the way to play it. Like playing ESO, the Elder Scrolls Online beta this weekend. All I could think was like, fuck, I wish I could plug a controller in. This is stupid.
That doesn't have controller support?
It will. It doesn't right now because
Let's
it's
talk
still
about
really
that.
early. Sure,
Let's
we can
talk
talk about
about
that. I don't
Yeah.
know if we're technically allowed.
Ooh.
I think it's all under NDA, but
I think it's under NDA for posting like pictures and videos. I think we can talk about it.
No, I think it's all under NDA, but we're going to talk about it anyways. So
Because we don't care about lawsuits
Hold on.
and repercussions.
I'm reading it right now. You may not
Okay.
discuss anything regarding the beta.
I didn't hear that. What?
Please, this is from Elder Scrolls
Okay.
Online, their Facebook
Uh-huh.
page. Please remember that if you were invited to the ESO beta, the game is still under NDA, and you may not discuss anything regarding the beta.
Please discuss the beta. That's all I'm taking away from that.
That's what I heard too. It's like, hey, our beta is so awesome that if you talk about it, it'll make us happy. That's what
It's
it
pretty
said,
good.
right?
It is pretty good. It is a very fine Elder Scrolls game, and it is kind of a crappy MMO.
I was going to say, I'm not a big MMO person, but I've played a ton of this game in the past 24 hours. I've probably played 8-9 hours of it. It looks like a really cartoon stylized version of Skyrim, but it plays just like Skyrim.
It doesn't look that cartoony. That's stylized.
No, but it's definitely not Skyrim quality.
It is definitely different. But like I had it cranked up all the way, and it looked great.
Yeah,
thought
mine
it
was
looked totally
running on ultra settings soon. It looks good, and it does. If you didn't know you were playing an MMO, you'd feel like, hey, I'm just playing another version of Skyrim. The interface looks the same. Playing in first person is phenomenal.
That's sort of my qualm with it, is that basically you are just playing the Elder Scrolls, and then sometimes another player will wander by, and you're like, oh hey, there's
I don't know.
maybe it's because it is so early beta, but there's no reason
I like
to
that
group
though,
up.
because I remember when we first were talking about this at E3 when we went, our major qualm with it was that it was just going to completely emulate exactly what other MMOs have done in the past, because every MMO since World of Warcraft has just been a clone of World of Warcraft with a few tweaks here and there. I think this is genuinely a different style of MMO, because you're going through and it's not focused on, hey, here's another player. There's not a big glowing triangle above that person saying, here's another player. They could just be NPCs because the world is filled with NPCs, or it could be another player. You don't know until you walk up and interact with that person.
It kind of like that's part of my problem with it, is that at that point, why even make it an MMO? Why not just put out this Elder Scrolls game?
No, and it's a good point, but I like it because there were times where, despite how easy the combat is, I rushed into something and got a little overwhelmed, and some dude just came up from behind who happened to be on the same quest, killed the person, we both just kind of happily went on our way. So you're not forced to interact with each other, but other people are there existing in the same phase of the world as you, so that you have that opportunity to interact if you want to. They're not forcing it down your throat.
Yeah.
And I like that.
World of Warcraft never did that either, right? I mean, other than like the end game 40-man or 20-man or however many it is now. Like, you could go through the entire game by yourself and it wouldn't matter.
But no, there was stuff like, maybe I'm still really early, so maybe this stuff does kick in eventually. But there was like instances, there was reasons to group. There were tough quests that you needed more people for. So far, everything I've done has been really easy by myself. So if someone else is there doing it with me, like I just was kind of getting like, no, fuck off. Like my spells aren't landing because we're killing it too quickly. It just wasn't really like, I stopped having fun when I started playing with other people, and then quickly went back to like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go roll around by myself. And at that point, you're basically playing Elder Scrolls, which is great.
That was the one thing that I was really impressed with, because I played probably 15 levels of World of Warcraft, so by no means am I an expert on MMOs, but the quests in this game did not feel like typical MMO quests. They actually felt like you're playing Elder Scrolls style quests. A lot of them ended really abruptly, but they were still mildly enjoyable quests. They weren't just, hey, go get me this and bring it back. Hey, go get me this and bring it back.
Whole game is fully... Well, it kind of is, but they sort of try to trick you out of that by basically having everything being fully voice acted, and like there is stuff going on, but it is a lot of like, I need you to go kill 5 wolves or whatever, but instead of go kill 5 wolves, it's like, hey, this town is being attacked by wolves, and then you roll over to this town where villagers are being ripped apart by wolves, and you gotta kill 5 wolves.
Then you have those other quests. I think you and I started in the same pack, so we probably played a lot of the same stuff. On Bleak Rock Island, before you leave, there was that side quest where you had to go and free these people that had been captured and enslaved by the Frozen Man.
And that's basically run here, activate this quest item, run here, activate this quest item, run here, activate this quest item.
But it's done in such a way that it feels like Elder Scrolls, because technically Elder Scrolls games, the quests were exactly like that. But it wasn't just, go do this, touch this, go do that, touch that. Like, there's something going on around it, giving you a reason to do it. Yeah,
they do a good job of making it feel like a really good single-player game. But again, like, that kind of brings in problems, because I was playing with a friend of mine, and you're both in the same world, but every time, so say you do a quest and you save this town, well, now in your world, that town isn't under attack by wolves anymore. Now it's just a normal town, but my buddy is still seeing wolves attacking these, so he's like, come on, we gotta kill these wolves, and I'm like, I don't see any wolves. Like, what the... Oh, I already did that.
But so you were in the same world as him, and you could see him?
Yeah, so you end up in these different, and it happened a bunch. You always end up in these different phases where if you get even just like a quest or two ahead, then suddenly your world is totally different than his world. And there's choices to make too. Like, some of them are like, you got to save this town or this town. Well, the town you don't save turns into, ruins.
Mm-hmm. So
for me, I had a fully functioning town, and like I got to go sell, and I got to go talk to these merchants. So I had to go back to town, but to him, it was just a burned down. Like, there were no NPCs there for him. So it's weird. Like, there's a lot of stuff they still kind of are figuring out, I think.
Now that you mention that, I do remember seeing parts where I saw a couple people fighting somewhere. Like, what the hell are these people fighting? There's nothing there.
Yeah.
So that could have been the very same thing. I have noticed, and I know this is still beta, but there's some pretty big glaring issues with like quest markers. When you had to come back into that first town initially, you had to find Captain Reyna, and her quest marker took you to her house, and there were all these people in there like trying to figure out where this lady was, but she's in 3 buildings over in her office.
Beta, beta's beta, whatever. There's still like placeholder VO. There's still like the opening cinematic is just like
placeholder shit.
Yeah, placeholder super cool cinematic or something. Like, it's still very, very early, which seems cool, weird because that game is coming out in spring, which is, starts in a month and a half basically.
They're gonna push it back.
I do like how they have your name watermarked over the entire screen, though. To me, I thought that's a pretty neat way to track who's posting shit.
Yeah, that's for their don't talk about our game stuff, which we're talking about their game, man.
The other thing that really wasn't clearly explained was the whole blacksmithing stuff, because I wanted to purchase a new weapon, but you can't buy weapons in this.
That's not true. You can totally. There are blacksmiths. Yeah, right beside the. Usually where you go to do the blacksmithing, there will be a guy who's like, listen, you just want to buy the weapons. Like,
okay. Maybe I just didn't. I was thinking in the very first town in that big building in the middle, I was trying to figure out how to make something, and you needed iron ingots for it. Mm-hmm. And you could go to the person and purchase all this ore that you could turn into the ingots, but there's no iron ore to purchase. And it took me probably 15-20 minutes to realize that when you go to the blacksmithing, up in the top right, there's the extract option, so you can extract ingots and ore from old weapons, but you have to destroy them in the process. And
plus, you find it around the world. You'll just find, like, oh, iron ore, and then, you'll get the mine pick out and clink, clink. Great, I got some iron ore.
That's what I did like, is they carried over a lot of that stuff. You're walking around and you still see torch flies, and you still see mushrooms, and you still see these plants that you can harvest. And
Nern root.
I haven't stumbled upon any Nern roots.
I found a Nern root, and they still they sing, they still hum.
Yeah. How far did you get past Bleak Rock? Like, did you get off Bleak Rock Island and get into Morrowind?
Yeah, I did. I'm in the second zone of Morrowind now. I did Falboyan or whatever the second zone is, and then you kind of get into Morrowind proper. And like, I don't know, it's Elder Scrolls.
I'm looking forward to that because I played a ton of Morrowind, and I'm actually playing through it again right now. And I got into the Morrowind section of it, and I'm seeing the bull netches flying around. And the only thing that would make it better is if you saw some silt striders riding around in the background. And
just wait. Just wait.
Do you see those?
I don't want to break NDA, all right?
Oh, I fucking love silt striders.
Yeah, they do a great job of like, here's all this fan service. If you like Elder Scrolls, you will like the Elder Scrollsness of this game. The MMO part, I think it's going to be a lot of like PvP late game stuff. So because it's a bunch of like taking over towns and taking over castles, and apparently you can become the emperor.
I'm curious to see how they're going to run the 3 packs against each other, because there's very clearly 3 different packs. I don't even remotely know what their names are off the top of my head, but
neither do I.
The main conflict in the game is these 3 packs have divided and they're at war against each other. So if you were to have started ESO in the blue pack and I'm in the red, there's absolutely no way we could play together.
No, fuck that. We're going to fight. We might meet on the battlefield, but we would be enemies.
Yeah.
I would cut you down without a second thought.
What do you think of the combat in this?
It's Elder Scrolls. Like, I always have felt that the combat in Elder Scrolls is the shittiest part of that game by far, and I still think that holds true.
See, so is it the same as like Skyrim combat?
Yeah, it's like you're kind of free moving around. You have a dodge. You can double tap to dodge, and I'm a melee class, so I'm just swinging my swords. If I stand slightly too far away, the hit doesn't connect. Like there's no auto attack. There's no you don't see the numbers or anything like that. It's like left click is a quick attack, hold left click to do the big swing, right click is block, click them both to do kind of like a shove and knock them off balance. It's pretty Elder Scrolls. You don't have a right hand and a left hand like you did in Skyrim, but you can equip 2 weapons. It's all on one attack button.
Is like the leveling up system's pretty much the exact same?
The way that it levels you up is you gain experience, and then you level up certain skills based on what skills you have equipped. So like my Dragon Knight has, I forget the names of them. He has like a fire tree, a earth tree, and an armor tree, or a dragon tree, or whatever. So if I have
like World of Warcraft talents, essentially.
Kind of.
Not really like talents. No, it's you get skill points for leveling up and for finding these items around the world called sky shards, and then you unlock a skill, and it's more like Diablo because you have like 5 skills you can put on your bar.
Or like Guild Wars 2.
Yeah, a lot like Guild Wars 2 actually. And what those skills are determines where the XP goes. So if I have all Earth skills, I will only be leveling up my Earth thing. But I think the theory is I would level it up faster.
Yeah, it's probably like a percentage of XP goes towards each school that you have equipped, probably.
Well, yeah, plus each of your skills, as you use it, gets leveled up just by simply using it.
Well, it's by you need to kill monsters. It's not like Oblivion where I can just jump, and my jump is leveling up. I actually have to kill monsters and do quests to get experience, and then it is divided into your skills based on how you're using them.
The thing that wasn't immediately clear is when you go in and you want to put your attributes on a different type of weapon, like 2-handed weapon, dual wield staves, mages, or just weapons like that, it doesn't let you unless you physically have dual wield equipped, or you have a long sword equipped or a great sword equipped. So you have to be. To me, that was a little confusing. So.
Well, it stops you from accidentally wasting a skill point, and if I am a melee class and I'm never going to use a destruction staff, and oh fuck, I put this point into these destruction staffs. Well,
that's true.
Now what, right? I don't know. It seems fine. It seems totally okay. I wish I was playing it not on console, but it is launching on the new consoles and PC as well. But I wish I was playing it with a controller on PC.
What's your take? Would you think that somebody who's got a big boner for both MMOs and Elder Scrolls would want to pay $15 a month for this?
If you really like World of Warcraft and that's sort of what you're looking for, I bet you will fucking hate this. I bet,
Think so?
like, oh yeah, because this is, I've only seen like such a tiny amount of content that it's hard to know what it will be. But to me, the end game won't be 40-man raids. It won't be competitive PvE because that just doesn't really work in this kind of the Skyrim combat.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, the same thing could be said for the Guild Wars 2 combat. Like, because
There's
that's
a little bit more like Guild
well,
Wars.
there's a little bit
gives
more.
you a
It's
little bit
easier
of a
to
lock.
target stuff, right? Yeah.
This is like totally free targeting. Like imagine, I'm trying to imagine having 20 people, like say 20 people trying to swing a sword and all attack this big monster at the same time. Like it just sounds like a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
Like to get World of Warcraft, you need like a lot of coordination to do some of that tougher stuff. It just doesn't seem like it's going to be possible.
I guess I could foresee endgame of just the entirety of this game being nothing different than it is now. You're just kind of out there existing, and you can help each other if you want to. Kind of like how adventures in the real world would work.
Well, they put a big kind of focus on the PvP. Like you're going to be taking over castles. The towns that you get to a fort pretty early in the game, and I guess all those forts are up for grabs. Whoever controls them, like taxes the land around and gets gold or something. Like it's going to be a PvP focused, kind of like Guild Wars is, but with Guild Wars you go to this totally separate world to do your PvP. In Elder Scrolls it seems like the whole world is up for grabs.
So essentially, could you see this game being like let's say this becomes the next big MMO? Would the barrier for entry be like as huge as something like EVE Online for like coming into the game now, where there's zero chance?
Kev, I don't play MMOs at all. My knowledge of them is next to none. I mean, for fuck's sakes, I put 30 hours into Star Trek Online. I don't know a good MMO from a bad MMO. This game's really easy to get into.
Yeah, but that's not what I mean. I mean, are the people who are at the top of this leaderboard or who control all the forts, are you ever going to be able to catch up to those people?
It's too early to tell.
Yeah.
Who knows? Because I don't even know if that stuff is open right now.
The beginning of the game is pretty linear in that it kind of pushes you through, and you're only ever going to be around people who are your current level. So I haven't really gotten to the point yet where I can start bouncing between different parts of the world.
I think it'll be like anything though, where until you get up to their level, you're not going to be able to compete with them. But the whole idea is that it's going to be like you and 40 other guys are going to go take over this fort. It's not like I'm going to go fucking by myself claim all these areas. That's sort of where I think the MMO, air quotes for the video, aspect comes in. But it's too early to tell. Who knows? Who knows what that game will be when it launches?
The thing that I'm most curious about seeing is when you open up the parts of the map that we've currently played through Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim, how true to those maps that we played before they're going to remain. Like in Morrowind, am I going to be able to go to Seyda and be like, this is where I started Morrowind, or am I going to be able to go to Vivek and look at the temples?
I bet you will. I bet you totally will. They so far have been all about that fan service, like all about it.
Because if that's the case, I'm all over it. Like I just want to re-experience that from a different angle.
Yeah, it seems like, especially too, where I started as a Nord, which is like the Skyrim is the Nord's country or whatever in Elder Scrolls. So they're really kind of on the nose about like, hey, you remember we talked about this in Skyrim?
I was kind of off-put by the fact that they had the Argonians starting up in Bleak Rock. That just, to me, that didn't make sense because that's who I started at.
No, it's like the three factions all have their own starting zone.
But I would have figured that they would have put the Khajiit and the Argonians kind of in the same territory down south because Elsewhere and Black Marsh are closer to each other. It's like it was like, why the fuck am I starting in Skyrim? I'm a lizard.
They read it away.
I know it had stuff to do with slavery.
Part is like explains why. They write it away in one line of dialogue when you're coming out of Oblivion and you're going to go back into Nirn, whatever they call the real world, and they say, I don't know where we're going to end up. It could be anywhere.
Yeah, that's right.
So, at some point, video games.
Yeah. Because a bunch of people around a table decided to put the Argonians here. That's where they are.
Yeah. So, but you'll make the rounds. Don't worry.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. it's going to sound dumb to say, but I'm probably not going to pay $15 a month because I do know that down the road, it could be a year, it could be 5 years, this game will eventually go free to play, like all MMOs do. And if they only give me 1 character slot, great. I don't need to have 9 character slots. I'll play it then.
See the time to get into these though is when people are playing them right out of the gate.
But you and I were just talking about the fact that this is more of a single player MMO.
Yeah, but
so why the fuck do
who
I
knows
care?
when it's free to play? Who the fuck knows what that game's going to be then either, right? If you want to play the game that you and I have been playing, get into it right when it comes out because who knows what it's going to be down the road.
That's true.
So have they announced anything on if it's going to be a free to play or a pay to play?
It's a monthly subscription.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'll last 6 months, 8 months, and then it'll go free to play.
I think it'll last longer than say Tor did because it's not quite the WoW clone that Tor was, but that was a lot of anagrams or a lot of what do they call those?
Acronyms.
Acronyms. That was a lot of acronyms. Yeah. It's not quite the clone it was, so I think it'll have a little more longevity. In a year and a half, 2 years, it'll probably be free to play.
But
unless maybe this is the next one. Maybe this is what the genre's been waiting for, and it just fucking takes off.
I don't think it's going to be.
Neither
it's
do
a full-cost game, isn't it?
On
top of a subscription.
I don't know the pricing, to be honest, but you'll buy the game, you'll get the first month free, and then you'll have to pay if you want to keep playing, just like any other MMO.
That's what's so off-putting to me about it, though. I mean, I understand that, yes, they're adding new content, it's a massive game, but I just don't like continually paying for a game.
It's $15, though. I mean, if you're putting the time in, and you can justify it, like, that's not a lot of hours you have to put in to justify $15 a month. A few hours a month, and then it's worth it, right?
Yeah.
I get what Eric's saying though, because like I pay $60 for a game, I get my fill with it.
Well,
that's it.
No, I guess on the other side of that though, I've bought $60 games that I've spent 9 hours with and never touched again. So
I guess
once you play your first MMO like for real and you get way into it and you're paying that subscription fee, that stuff stops mattering pretty quickly. Because $10 a month, that's pittance.
And if you're into it, sure, I'll pay. Like if DC Universe really actually grabbed me, which I was really hoping it did or would, I wouldn't have minded paying a subscription for it, but it just didn't. So I don't know. Where I'm coming from is if I'm gonna play a game and then I start paying all this money, what's $15 a year, or what's $15 a month in 1 year? 15 times 12.
Well, it's 150 plus 30. That's $180.
Yeah.
$180 plus what? $60 for the game? That's a lot of money for a game.
It's not. It'll probably be $39.99. I have to imagine.
Even still, $200 for a game in a year. That's. But I guess on the other aspect, like Matt said, the amount of time that you're going to be putting into it almost justifies it.
How long have you been paying for PSN Plus? Like you could do the same thing, PSN Plus for 3 years. You paid $700 into PSN Plus? Like that's ridiculous. Well,
kind of the same thing. I get it. It's a subscription. It's a subscription business model, but totally different.
Yeah.
It is, but at the same time, it's if you're into it, you don't give a fuck. That's how they get you.
The thing I don't foresee is that I play a lot of games. I think MMOs are for the type of people who want to play one game.
Yeah, because I like to play a game, experience it, and then move on.
Yeah.
I don't get stuck on a single game quite often.
If an MMO were to draw me in, I could foresee it being Elder Scrolls Online. And I know I said that when they first announced it, and then we saw what they had to offer at E3, and it looked like shit. And what they have now doesn't look anything like what we saw at E3.
Yeah.
So it is making good progression.
Yeah, this game is completely different from what I played at E3 2 years ago. 100% different, which good for them.
On the same note, if they were to ever come out with that Fallout MMO, I would be all over that.
They're calling for Fallout 4 this year.
I know.
Nothing confirmed, but
well, that script has been leaked.
Yeah, it makes Fallout. This makes sense for a Fallout 4 this year.
Yeah.
But in an MMO set in that Fallout world, it gets me a lot more than a MMO set in whatever that world is called, Morrowind.
Nern.
Right.
I don't know. It's cool. It's a bunch of fan service, which is why I like it. But
How long is this beta going to be open? Is it just the weekend?
midnight tonight, yeah, closes midnight Pacific, I think, or 11:59 Pacific, whatever it is.
So when they restart up another beta, if they do you have to start a new character?
Traditionally, yes, but who knows? Like, it's all so early that we're not even supposed to be talking about it, so who the fuck knows? I'm not going to play any more betas. Like, I've got enough now to know that I like it. I don't want to burn myself out on it.
Yeah.
So I'm cool. I don't want to touch it anymore. I'm okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, put my 10 hours in. That's good enough for me. Because I'm going to have to replay that fucking 10 hours when the game comes out. So,
Yeah, the game took a little while to get started.
yeah, they got to assume that you've never played a video game before.
Oh, let me tell you about a game that takes forever to get started. Mario and Luigi Dream Team. Holy shit. Have you guys ever played any of the Mario RPG games?
Yes.
The one on Super Nintendo is great. I haven't played any of the other ones like Superstar Saga or Bowser's Inside Story, but
Let me tell you guys about Paper Mario.
Paper Mario's great.
Good. The 3DS one, not so much. But Mario and Luigi Dream Team is about I'd say about 2.5, 3 hours before they stop holding your hand and like really giving you super in-depth tutorials on how to run your menu system in the battles and how counterattacks work. It's painfully slow, but holy shit, this game is good.
It's because it's a 3DS. A lot of kids are going to be playing. Like, a lot of younger kids who maybe have never played an RPG before ever are going to be playing
I could
it.
see that, yeah.
It's like, that's kind of you run into that with a lot of Nintendo games. Like
Yeah,
Skyward Sword was, with fucking literally 3.5 hours of tutorial.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, never mind when Final Fantasy turned into the gay-ass action-adventure game that it is now. In Final Fantasy 13, there was tutorials up until 11, 12 hours into that game.
And then once you got to Grand Pulse at 30 hours, they're still telling you how to play the damn
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, shit, 2 hours of tutorials is easy compared to some games.
So Mario and Luigi Dream Team, that's...
Yeah, it's kind of stupid in the story. I mean, the basic story of it is that Mario and Luigi and Princess get invited to this magical land called Pillow, P-I''ILLO. So it's supposed to be like a variation of the spelling of pillow.
Oh yeah, Pylo. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
The mystical land of Pylo.
And
Of
you
course.
go to this land, and apparently everybody has been trapped in nightmares. And the only way to get them out of these nightmares is to find these rock pillows that Luigi falls asleep on, and then you enter the dream world, and suddenly Mario's in there as himself, but then you interact with Dream Luigi, or Luiginary is what they call him. Like, all of his stuff is Luiginary stuff. It's really stupid, a lot of the stuff that they talk about, but the battle system in it is so much fun because it's actually a little bit more active, traditional RPG-style battles where, yeah, you've got your attack, you've got your items, you press A at the right time, you can do a double attack, but then when the enemies start to attack you, you actually have the opportunity to fully counter or evade their attacks at any given time. So you can go through every battle never getting hit at all. Luigi has in the dream world, you don't actually control Luigi himself, but you can do these Luiginary attacks where you pick him up as like a big hammer or roll him into a ball, and it's really dumb, but it's super addicting. It's one of the most entertaining 3DS games I've played in a while. But yeah.
Speaking of 3DS games, let me tell you guys about A Link Between Worlds.
Let's talk about that, because I talked a lot about it on Factory Sealed, but
Yeah,
nobody else.
it's a retro game. It's not for the Xbox One or PS4, so technically, by Factory Sealed's definition, A Link Between Worlds is a retro video game.
You're an asshole, Matt.
It's great. It's fantastic. Having not played A Link to the Past and not really getting all that fan service that
Wait.
apparently is in there.
You never played Link to the Past?
Fuck no, I never played Link to the Past.
What kind of gamer are you?
Yeah, how old I
like 2.
Yeah, exactly. I was like fresh out of the womb when that game came out.
It doesn't matter. You could
Cleaning
still.
his arms off.
I was too busy playing Prince of Persia on the Game Boy.
That game
I don't
had
like A Link to the Past. I have tried playing it, and I do not care for A Link to the Past at all.
I feel like A Link to the Past was probably the best Legend of Zelda.
No, Link Between Worlds is now the best Zelda. Easily.
Yeah, you shut the hell up, all right? No.
No way. I don't want to say you'll agree with me, but you need to play it so you can at least tell me that you don't agree with me. Because
okay.
Link Between Worlds is fucking amazing.
It's pretty good.
My only complaint with that game is that it's pretty easy. It's not very challenging.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, it is. You can suck ass at that game and still just walk your way through it.
I never saw the game over screen in that game.
Oh, I did. It's terrible because you rent items in this one. You instead of going to a dungeon and finding items, you rent them from this mysterious man, and when you die, he takes them back. The repo bird comes.
Yeah, but you are never that hard up for rupees that you can't just go and physically purchase the item.
Oh no, yeah, you can totally go back and rent every single item if you want, because money not an issue.
No, you can actually purchase them so they don't disappear.
Oh, I know. That does get a little expensive though. Like I didn't purchase all of them by the end. I had
all of them purchased the second that he would allow me to purchase them. Like, rupees are not hard to find in that game.
I didn't spend a lot of time dicking around in the world, though. I just was like, dungeon, just kind of crit path, I guess you could say.
The cool thing about that game, though, is that you could complete it in any order that you wanted to. Because of the whole item rental system, you weren't forced to complete this dungeon because it had this item and you need that item to complete the next dungeon. You could just go to the dungeon and be like, oh fuck, I don't have this item. Leave, go back, rent it, come back and beat that item or beat that level.
I didn't really like that part. That was too much freedom for me.
I loved it.
In a Zelda game. Like, I like basically having my hand held and it'll say, go here, do this, go here, do this, go here, do this, here's a cool boss fight. Go here, do this, go here, do this, go here, do this, here's a cool boss fight.
How much of it did you actually play with the 3D on?
I turned it off when I was on the bus, so maybe, I don't know, 75%.
That game, because it was running, they were actually doing 3D at 60 frames a second or 30 frames a second. I don't remember what it was, but
it did not look 60 to me. I would guess 30.
It's higher than what most 3DS games are running at, and it looks phenomenal.
Yeah, it looks sharp. Music's fucking incredible. Music might be the best part of that game.
Put on a good pair of headphones or like hook it up to a really good sound system. I was playing it through, I've got a set of Bose speakers for my computer, and I was playing it through that the whole time, and it's just incredible.
Plug it into your car stereo system, rolling down the highway, blasting Beats by Link.
Is Link still silent protagonist?
Yes.
They
give the impression that he talks, but you don't see what it is. People respond to
the worst things about that game.
No, it's fine. It doesn't matter. You're not in it for the fucking character depth of Link.
That's what I'm in games. That's what I'm into games for, though.
Is Batman the mask, or is Link the mask? What if Link puts on another mask?
Link is the mask. Batman is the person.
What if Link puts on Majora's Mask and starts fighting crime? Are you in? He gets all the rupees.
Go on.
All the rupees. And then he puts on this mask. And then Navi is like sticking around in the tree cave where he launches out of and he fights crime. Petty crimes. Just around the world. Just like somebody's getting mugged. He shows up and he goes, "Ah!" and does a big sword spin and
high-pitched grunts and
they say, "Thank you, mysterious masked man," and he goes, "Hut!" and then runs away.
No good. No good.
It's fine. It's a great game. Borrow it from your buddy. I borrowed it from Cam, and
it's definitely it's got some good replay value to it. The New Game Plus mode that they offer this time, with the old Zelda games, when you did New Game Plus, it would only do twice as much damage. This time it actually does 4 times the amount of damage. And I was reading about some people who do different New Game Plus runs, and they say, I'm going to do New Game Plus, Green Tunic, no item rentals, and 3 hearts only. Like, you can't pick up any of the extra hearts, and you can only play through the entire game with 3 hearts, Green Tunic, and no items, other than the ones that you actually need to beat the level.
Yeah, those are the fucking psychos that like to play Dark Souls. Those are the people that go home and cut themselves because they think it feels good. Masochists.
I thought about doing it, but I've picked up other games in the meantime. But that's definitely one that I'll go back and play every once in a while. Like I always go back and play Link's Awakening at least once a year, once every other year, and this one will be one of those games that I always go back to. It's that good.
I have no desire to ever play it again, but it is
Really?
good. Yeah, I'm done. That's enough for me.
I like it. I like those old top-down Zelda games, though, so that's kind of what drew me in. I never, aside from Ocarina of Time, I never really got drawn too much into the 3D Zeldas. Twilight Princess, hated it. Never played Skyward Sword. So this one was awesome. And I think mainly it was because of the fan service, and maybe that's what drew me in so much, was that I played a ton of Link to the Past, and this one, it's just pure fan service is all it is.
Kev, you play any games over these 7 months besides MPQ that you want to...
7 months, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Kev played Jeopardy on Friday.
Let me think. No, I'm pretty sure I didn't play any games in the last 7 months at all.
Kevin, that's the worst fucking quote you have ever had.
I don't believe you. I've said a lot of ignorant things in my day.
I'm not... Whatever. I'm not going to acknowledge it.
That's
People, the audio version of this podcast will never know the offensive shit that is going down in this fucking...
Just go
Google
watch
Hangout.
our old stream from Friday night. You'll know what he's saying.
Yeah, no,
What?
I've been playing like not much. Playing some Final Fantasy VII. Still going strong on that.
I don't know if you listened to the last Factory Seal that we did, but I put that on hiatus because I'm pounding through Final Fantasy IV right now.
Yeah, I know, because
So-
you're a scumbag, and I'm still probably way ahead of you, and I haven't played in a long time.
Probably. I think I'm still probably just past Cosmo Canyon.
Jesus.
Yeah. Ares
What,
hasn't even died yet.
The fuck was I going to say? Oh, you going to pick DMC up, Kev?
You keep telling me about this DMC game.
It's free on PlayStation Plus right now.
Yeah, but I
Great
like
game.
having
Oh,
PlayStation Plus, but not actually using it.
Oh, okay. Never
you
mind.
should be
that.
American.
Only download the fucking quality games, right?
I
Like,
started playing DMC.
have you even downloaded any? I'm trying to think of your fucking games list. Have you downloaded any of the free PlayStation Plus games? You've had it for over a year.
I downloaded Little Big Planet 2, which I never played.
How the fuck would you download that?
Yeah, just the quality ones, right? Like Little Big Planet 2.
I think that's pretty much the only one.
Let me tell you about DMC. It's pretty good.
Give me
That's
a reason to get into it, because I started playing it, and after they were putting hot dog buns and pizzas in front of Dante's dick, I'm not...
Right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
that part. That
Yeah.
part's early.
That
Yeah,
part's
that's-
fucking awesome.
That taste leaves your mouth quite quick, actually.
Okay.
What? That isn't even like... Was that offensive? Like, I...
No,
he's-
it's offensive. I thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah, he's
It was-
fucking flying through a trailer that is like falling off a building or something naked, and he gets dressed as he falls through it, and then he tumbles out the other side and he's totally dressed.
It's the craziness of that series that actually like really plays.
And if a slice of pizza happens to save us from the sight of his penis, well, thank you, slice of pizza. Eric was just cheering for penis. That's why he was like disappointed when there was no full frontal male nudity literally 5 minutes into the game.
Yeah, I like male nudity up front and center.
That game's great. I think you would have a heck of a time with that game, Kev.
I like
very
it. I started playing it. I got a couple levels into it. It's very original Devil May Cry.
It is very, very, very over the top.
Yeah, that's what I like.
kind of stupid, but in some pretty fun ways. You hit a guy with a Ferris wheel. That game opens with you ripping a Ferris wheel out of the ground and hitting a guy with it, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that totally doesn't sound like the type of game I would like at all.
I think you should check it out.
Is there an
Sounds
option
to me
spend
just like
$200
God
on
of
DLC?
War.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
not
listen.
been into those character action games, so I don't think he'd really dig this.
No.
Unless he's gets into the character of Dante and the world he lives in, I don't think he'd get
It's
it.
got a lot of microtransactions you could probably spend. You buy all that DLC out of $25 maybe.
Oh shit!
All at
Maybe
once.
it
All at
would
once.
be worth it.
Yeah.
Just take my money, Sony. Just take it.
Capcom.
Capcom.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Capcom Unity. Hello. Does nobody follow the official Capcom Unity Twitter anymore?
No.
Is that really what they're called? That's not
That's what they bill themselves as.
Isn't Unity the engine?
It's
No,
yeah.
that's
They're no. Unity is an engine, but I don't think the
That's
Unity in Capcom Unity stands for the Unity engine.
Yeah.
It might. I'm not really sure. Any other games? Anybody got any other games that they want to bring up here? Talk about? We're back in the saddle.
I think nobody really prepared for what's going on right now.
I've just been catching up
prepared.
I've been
This was
catching up
kind
on
of just
backlog
dropped on
stuff.
us. It's all Matt's just like, so we're gonna start the show up next week again.
Yeah. Well, whatever.
Oh yeah.
No time
Good
like the
stuff.
present. Strike
What's
while
the-
the iron is hot, as they
What's
say.
the status? Like, is this something that we need to prepare for every week?
I
Or is-
would, in case it keeps happening every week. Who the fuck knows, man? Who knows?
All right.
We can't be pigeonholed into a schedule.
Yeah, we're more of a free form podcast.
Okay.
We just kind of do what feels right in the moment.
All
You guys want to talk about a little bit of news here?
Yeah, you guys talk about news. I'm gonna pick up my MPQ.
Uh-huh. Yeah, okay. All right.
Kev, is
Kevin.
MPQ free?
It is free.
$150
Oh,
to get in the
my,
door.
my iPad's in the living room.
Kev, let me tell
And-
you
Get
about
Christy to get it.
PlayStation Now.
PlayStation Now.
Uh-huh. Okay, let me pitch something to you. See if you
All right.
you like spending money.
I love spending money.
So imagine a service like Netflix,
Okay.
but instead of movies, it does have movies as well, but it also has, in theory, the entire PS1, PS2, PS3, and current PS4 libraries in there for you to stream to your PlayStation 4.
So by stream, do you mean I watch somebody else play the game?
No. You are instead of waiting for that game to download, you say, "I want to play Marvel Puzzle Quest on the PlayStation," and it just starts beaming Marvel Puzzle Quest
Think
to your.
of the old OnLive service and how well that was.
No, he's gonna have no idea what that was. Don't think of that.
Okay, so are you talking about Sega TV?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sega TV.
Yes.
That's exactly what it is, which is awesome.
All right, if that existed, I would A, buy a PlayStation 4, and B, sign up for that fucking
No,
service.
apparently you can do it on tablets too.
What
Yeah,
if I
that's
told you that
weird.
you could do it on your fucking TV if you wanted?
But
It would have
Like,
to be a Bravia TV.
how would I plug a controller into my TV?
It's got USB ports.
Yeah, that's all
Apparently-
you need. I could just plug an Xbox 360 controller
No.
into my TV.
Specifically, if you're playing games on your TV or your tablet, you have to use a PlayStation DualShock 3.
Oh.
So the PlayStation 3 controller. How do you feel about trophies? You like trophies?
Nah, trophies aren't my thing.
Okay, well, never mind then. You
But-
will still be able
multiplayer.
to earn trophies as though you are owning the game. You'll be everything you could do with the game with the disc in your drive, things like trophies, multiplayer. That's all apparently going to work over this PlayStation Now.
So, would it have trophies for Final Fantasy VII?
Did Final Fantasy VII have trophies on the PlayStation?
They were talking about
No.
integrating trophies for PS1 games with the OnLive service.
So, but it's probably going to be lame trophies like, you beat the game, here's your platinum trophy.
No, it'll probably be like, you put 1,800 hours into this game.
Ares died. You got a trophy.
Here's your gold. Yeah, basically you will stream games to your device.
Sweet,
which-
sign me up.
Sure. Hey, if it works good, like remember, you're streaming all this data. You're not downloading a game and then playing it off a hard drive. You are getting the game as you're playing it. So as long as this
That's-
system...
Where I'm skeptical.
apparently, you need a 5 megabit connection to get a good experience, which is...
That's pretty
even,
low.
Even Kev has twice that, so...
I
Yeah,
have
his
like
internet
5
sucks.
times that. Stop fucking knocking my internet. My internet is way better than yours.
It's not.
Yeah, we've been doing shows from his place for the last couple of years. It's fine.
The only things we don't know here with this PlayStation Now, no idea how much it's going to cost, and no idea if you'll pay like a monthly fee and then get access to everything. If you're going to have to pay separately for certain games, if you're kind of going to rent games, there's really no info yet on how the payment model is going to work. But I mean, if it is like Netflix, say you pay $10 a month, stream whatever the fuck you want, That sounds
I'd
great.
get behind that. I'd totally be behind that. Do
awesome.
we know if that's going to tie in with your PlayStation account, though? Like, when you sign into PlayStation Live, are you going to be able to put in your PSN account, and then all of your game saves are going to go up into the cloud, and all your trophies are going to be associated to you, or are you going to have a different account for PlayStation Now?
I'm glad you asked. Let me read what this press release says. PlayStation Now games will allow you to save your progress to the cloud. So if you start playing on your TV, you can pick up where you left off on any other supported device.
But is that the cloud for your PlayStation account, or is it a different PlayStation Now account?
I would assume that you are earning trophies on your PlayStation account, your whatever the fuck they call their user, I don't know. You're earning trophies like normal.
Mm-hmm.
And you're doing everything like you would normally. Multiplayer, you're using your PSN account. Trophies, PSN account. These saves sound like they're going to have their own separate cloud for the saves because I don't know if that'll be compatible between streamed versions of PlayStation Now games and regular-ass games.
I watched some
Who
videos.
the fuck knows, though? Who knows?
I watched some videos of people at CES playing this on the Vita, and they had Last of Us running on the Vita, and it looked really good. It looked smooth, but then
That's awesome.
But then again, they were streaming the game off of a server that was sitting 3 feet away. So
everybody's like all the hands-on stuff says that exact same thing. It worked fine here, but we're right in front of this fucking server, so who knows?
If I can get it on my Vita and use it seamlessly in my house or at work or something like that, fuck man, I'll get behind it.
Yeah, it sounds okay. I don't know. We'll get more details kind of as the year progresses.
I can't imagine that something like this would only be $8 or $10 a month. I mean, you're getting access to thousands of games. I would say that's going to be.
Yeah, you price it any higher than that,
all
and
that
suddenly
shit.
people go, well, Netflix is only $8. Why don't I just do that?
But it's also not the same. But I get where both of you guys are coming
In
from.
the public's eye, I don't think that's going to matter.
Yeah. And also, like, they on that same day, I think they announced the WWE Network, which is only going to be like $9 a month.
What does that give you?
Everything WWE, which I'm sure resonates with nobody here. But when I saw that, I'm like, fuck, that's awesome.
So is it
$9
just like
a
current?
month for
Everything
all
WWE,
wrestling events.
yeah, including the pay-per-views.
Oh
But-
shit!
The caveat there is that you have to go like 6 month chunks, so like 60
Oh.
months.
I could foresee PlayStation Now being a yearly subscription, and then saying like, "Hey, $60 a year," or well, no, I would say
That's way too cheap.
To be honest, I think it's going to be $15 a month. I think it's going to come in at $14.99 a month.
Probably, because I mean, if PlayStation Plus, which gives you some free games, is $50 a year, PlayStation Now is not going to be $60 a month for all the games. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Plus, I don't think the whole the PlayStation 4 games being on that seems kind of a stretch.
I don't think PlayStation 4 is going to be on it. Is that right?
Well, hold on. Let me look here. I've got it.
Because the whole thing with this is that one of the reasons why they didn't include backwards compatibility is because they had this going on the back burner. They had all that Gaikai stuff, and they really want to come out with this so that they can charge for all that backwards.
Says it's going to be a Netflix-like subscription as well as individual game rentals. So I think.
Oh, okay, so you'll probably be able to rent PlayStation 4 games, but you won't be able to get
I wonder
them with
if they're going to put it
package.
kind of like Netflix does, where they have a rolling rotation of, okay, well, this month we're going to be introducing the Square Enix games, and they'll be here for 5 months, and then they're gone.
When they were pimping it at E3, they were saying the entire PS1, PS2, and PS3 libraries would be available, which makes it sound like any of those games that you want, you can probably stream. The way I'm imagining it is those old games you'll probably have access to with your monthly subscription, and then, I don't know, new PS4 games are coming out. You probably won't. I can't imagine you'll be able to stream those.
I would say that PS3
right away,
rentals, PS3 would probably fall into the rental category too.
I think it depends.
Because there's still going to be at least 2, maybe 3 years of new PS3 games coming out.
Yeah, I don't think it's not going to be like the PS2 was.
And they're not going to be exclusives either. They're probably going to be PS4 games that were ported to PS3 or the other way around.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, it's not going to be anything like the PS2 was. It's not the same Like the PS2 just had an open license. They said, "Fuck it, you guys make whatever you want." So people did, but the PS3 had that shitty cell architecture, and just it won't be quite the same. It's interesting though to see how that thing is going to play out.
If it's $14.99 a month, that would be at the upper limit of how much I would pay for it.
It's
But if
probably
that's-
what it will be, something right around there.
Yeah, I think you're right. If they were to go,
Or $15 a month, or $15 a year.
no, if it were $15 a month, I would be on the cusp of getting behind it if it worked well.
I would probably only get it if it was like $10 a month.
You think so?
Yeah, 15 pushes you too far away. That extra
Well, I mean,
$5.
As I think about the type of games that I would play off of it, it's not a big list. Like, I don't give a shit about PlayStation 1 titles except for the Final Fantasies. Maybe
you
I'd
probably
play
already got
like
'em.
Propa
maybe
the
I'd play
Rappa.
the original Star Ocean, and that would be it.
What about Propa?
Parappa the Rappa.
What about
Shut up.
Oh no,
I
it's
would
PS2.
play-
What about Thug? What about Thug? Fucking Thug 2?
I would play Bully.
Yeah.
I
there.
would get on board with that. But yeah, I don't think I would be able to actually get a lot of use out of it. I would buy it and then it would sit there like everything
Yeah.
else that I buy.
We all know. Yeah. Twisted Metal. You get the old Twisted Metals if you wanted, the good ones.
Twisted Metal was only good in Twisted Metal 2.
Now that I think about that, there's what the fuck would I play? Nothing.
Like that you
I
haven't
was an
played
Xbox
already,
kid.
right?
Yeah.
Like it would be
No.
cool to have access to
that's
some of the
fine.
old PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 games, but once you have it, it would be
Let's talk about this Project Christine thing a little bit here that came out of CES.
This is from Razer, right?
Yeah, modular PC building. The idea here is that instead of the way you build PCs now, you kind of do need to know a little bit about building PCs to make your own PC. You have to know how to install whatever, put the motherboard in, flash the board, flash the BIOS, all that stuff that basically stops Oliver from playing PC games. You know all that
The work.
stuff, Oliver?
All
The
that tough
thinking.
stuff.
The idea behind this Project Christine is that it'll just be you just plug in components. You'll have a big tall tower and say, I want another graphics card, I'll just plug it in. I want this motherboard, I grab this modular piece, I plug it in. Oh, I want to upgrade my hard drive, I pull the old one out, I put this new one, plug it in.
I was looking at the pictures of this, and it looks like it doesn't even matter where you plug it in either.
No,
like if
yeah,
one of them takes up 2 slots, you just have to make sure that you have 2 adjacent slots, and it plugs in.
Yeah, it's basically just a tall, bare tower with all these open PCIe ports on it, and then you just plug stuff in. Pull it out when you're done using it. Building
looks like
PCs made simple.
It looks like the bottom 2 pieces are reserved for bigger things like power supplies.
Yeah,
and-
that's probably a big power supply on the bottom. But it's a cool idea, and they talked about it at CES. Like it will probably be a real thing. I don't think it's going to be a real thing.
I don't think
it's
gonna
gonna take off.
Because
No.
if this is possible, why haven't they done it already? Like,
Well, especially
everything has to have a
catching up to
beginning.
technology, but like, it just feels like a lot. The circle I run with feels that PC gaming is too much trouble than it's worth, for sure.
yeah, that shit is you have to enjoy fucking around with PCs
Yeah,
to
yeah.
want to maintain one.
So I'm sure people are aware of this fact. So why hasn't somebody already tried to simplify this?
Well, I think the technology to do this type of thing is just rolling around.
I guess, yeah, that's something too.
Because it is basically just a universal input. So the input for the graphics card has to be the same as it is for the hard drive and the one.
Well, it's all like it is now. It's all PCIe, except I guess for hard drives we usually use eSATA. But it's existing technology. It's nothing. There's nothing super revolutionary in there other than the way of thinking of like, yeah, what if I could just pull a piece out? What if I could reach down, pull my graphics card out, put a new one in, without having to crack the case, without having to unscrew everything, right?
And see, that instantly deters me because I like doing that stuff. And I
So
think
do
most
I.
people who build PCs and play PC games are kind of those computer nerds who enjoy that. It's kind of cathartic in that, all right, I get to tear my PC apart and put it back together. instead of like, all right, I can plug something in.
I like that because it's like I sort of know how to do something that not everybody knows how to do, but at the same time, not knowing it super, super well, I've had enough problems where, like, it is kind of the fucking worst at this point.
Yeah, but that's still what's fun about it, though. I don't think I would enjoy just having a time in. To me, that doesn't sound appealing.
There's too many times when you put all the pieces back together. It's like having screws left over. You put everything back together, and then you turn it on, and nothing works, but you don't know why. Like, it's so hard to troubleshoot. Is it the power supply? Is it the board? What's going on? Is one of my RAM sticks bad? Is one of my drives bad? Like,
I mean, that's entirely what my job consists of, so I enjoy doing that stuff. So to me, that's why I like actually building PCs.
If I could just reach down, if I could go to the store and buy a piece and just put it in my computer, I would probably spend way more money than I already do upgrading my computer, because that's sort of what deters me is, like, I sort of need a new motherboard. Mine's getting a little bit, a couple years out of date. But fuck me if I want to tear that thing apart and unscrew that board off the side. No thank you. No way.
So would you actually be able to just go to the store and pick up a random piece, or would it have to be specifically designed by this company to fit their PC?
Well, as of right now, Razer has this locked up, so that's why I don't think it will ever be a thing. If Razer keeps this locked up, yeah, you'll have to go and specifically buy the Razer, modularly designed piece for your computer. You won't just be able to go and grab anything.
Well, and there's that other aspect of it too that they're talking about, is it could potentially have a subscription fee that would allow you to have at any given time the best possible PC available to you.
I don't know what the subscription part you're talking about is.
I put a link to a couple of the articles in that.
Here, I'll take a look at that. The technology sounds cool. If PC manufacturers in general just pick this up, great. If we can get a new universal standard for how stuff works, great. But it's just like Razer's on it. Nobody else wants to be second in line, right? Nobody, like, NVIDIA's not going to come to it now and be like, oh yeah, we're doing this too. Well, no, like Razer announced that first. They kind of are in the spotlight right now. So you need something to happen where, more than Razer. I bet Alienware will get on board with this because they love doing that weird shit. But you need more companies to get on board.
Yeah. I'm perusing through this subscription thing, and I guess from the way it sounds, it's not so much an actual subscription like you'd think of Netflix or PlayStation Now or something like that, but it's more of you're putting money towards future upgrades. So, I mean, my PC that I built, provided you guys gave me some free parts, cost me about $700. If I were to incorporate the costs of those hard, I mean, out of my pocket, I paid $500. That's all I paid.
I don't understand, like, the point of the subscription model. If you're just putting money basically into a pool to spend on new upgrades, why?
Why don't you just buy the upgrades?
Yeah,
right?
Fuck that, right? Like, money saves just fine in my bank account. Why do I need to?
Think of it this way, though, Matt. Think of it this way. I mean, I guess it's hard for you. You're not married or in a relationship where you guys are sharing finances. If I have a pool of money set aside for games or a new console or some fun money, or either of us have money set aside and an emergency fund comes up, guess where the money is going to come out of first? Our fun money savings.
But that's a good thing. If the emergency comes up and you're signed up for this subscription, that money is not there. Now you're using credit cards and paying 22% interest.
This is straight up. You're basically putting a piece for your computer on layaway. You are paying for it now, but you don't get it until you have it paid for. I don't really know how layaway works. I assume it's like that.
Yeah, it's pretty much. But yeah, and who's to determine at what point your PC needs upgrading? Like, is that for you to determine, or is that for the people collecting the subscription? Because let's say your video card is out of date by 6 months, but your sound card is out of date by 12 months. Does that mean you're getting a sound card before you're getting a video card?
Well, the way I'm imagining it, like, it's not real clear, but I would imagine you just kind of pick. It's like you click this thing. It's like, hey, you have, you've probably paid $500 real dollars. You have $750 Razer dollars to spend. Do you want a new graphics card? Here, have this new graphics card if you want it. Like, pick what you want from this pool that you've put aside, I guess. Unless you're getting, like, huge discounts, though.
Yeah, it seems like, why not just keep the money?
Exactly.
And I think since it's going to be proprietary devices, they're going to be a lot more expensive. They're going to
Razer
artificially
is
jack
not
up.
about fucking letting you save money with great, universal, easy-to-use things. Razer is all about, like, check out all this proprietary shit we have.
Yeah, I'm not defending the subscription-based model. I'm just trying to understand it.
If it comes out, it would be cool. Like, forget the subscription stuff. Modular, everything, yes. They're talking about modular phones. They're talking about modular.
Yeah, I was gonna say it reminds me
whatever.
of that Kickstarter that was happening a while ago, where it almost looked like a Lego phone, where you had the screen and then it had like plugs on the back where you could just plug in new pieces. Like, oh, my camera's out of date. I can buy a new modular camera, plug it onto the back, and it just interfaces. Or, oh, the CPU's out of date. Did you ever see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what this reminds me of, and I like the idea of it for a phone because phones get outdated so damn quickly, and you're locked into a 2-year contract for that shit. So,
yeah,
I don't know.
You don't need to upgrade your phone every 3 months.
No.
Well, arguably, you don't need to upgrade any of this shit every 3 months, but, you know.
I don't know. I'm gonna stick with it. I like the fact that I don't fall into the gaming elitist category, the PC gaming elites, but I enjoy the fact that it takes a special kind of person to build their own PC. Therefore, when you're PC gaming, you know that you're going to run across those types of people.
But, like, fuck that. I'm in it for the games. I'm in it for get the games to as many people as want them. If people want to play games, to fucking let them play games.
Yeah.
If modular PC is the answer to that, sweet. Whatever. There'll still be jerks like me who spend thousands and thousands of dollars every year upgrading their PC, even though they totally don't need to. Like, I have a $1,000 graphics card in there, which is brand spanking new, and there is another one on the way because why the fuck not?
Jesus. I
Why
just had yesterday, no, not yesterday, probably not too long, I don't remember what it was. Christy and I were sitting in the office, and she looks over her shoulder at me. She's like, Eric, I want you to help me build a computer this spring. Like, hell yeah. So I'm starting to put parts aside and shit like that, so.
Fuck, by this spring, I'll probably be looking to upgrade this entire thing. My computer isn't even where I pretended to look. I just realized over there. But, I don't know. It's a pipe dream.
Yeah.
It sounds like a good idea. For me, for sure.
Exactly. People like you. People who don't give a fuck about this PC shit. They just want to play some games.
Proprietary shit always sounds like expensive shit.
And it's going to be until more people pick up on it and the patents release. And
yeah, so
you guys head to my Kickstarter. It's called Eads Modules.
In which case, I would just call up Eads or Kevin and be like, hey, I want you to build me a computer, and
you go fuck yourself.
I don't want to do
I don't
this
think you'd be phoning me on that one.
A ton of money.
I would love to see the computer that Kev would build. That thing would be such a pile of shit.
Screw that. I would just go to, like, whatever that store is that I went to build my PC, and I'd been like, I'm just looking for the most expensive everything you got. Give me all that.
Slap a stack of cash down and say, come back to me when it plays games.
Tell me when I need more money.
Oh, man. How about this new Alien game? You guys see that Alien Isolation trailer?
Looks cool. Looks real cool.
Bored with it.
Coming hot off the heels of 2013's runner-up of Game of the Year, Alien Colonial Marines.
But then Alien Colonial Marines looked cool when that first showed, too.
That never, to me, looked cool. This is survival horror. This Alien Isolation is a survival horror game, as opposed to Colonial Marines being basically a Gears of War game. Did Oliver just fucking...
No, I'm still here.
No, he's
leaning way out of camera.
We don't have to worry about him getting away from his mic anymore. Now it's just away from his webcam.
I don't know. Alien, there's a trailer for it. Watch it if you have. I guess there's a gameplay preview actually up on GameSpot. It looks interesting. It's a lot of long dark hallways, and you don't know where the alien is, so you have like a scanner that you hold in front of you, and it's like you see the blip, and you're, oh, it's coming closer, but I can't see it.
They said that the alien's not on a scripted path either, so that's kind of neat. That it adds a little bit of suspense to it.
Yeah, I'm looking. I guess the gameplay section they were given to play at CES, there's no weapons in it, which could be telling of the entire game. Who knows if there's even going to be weapons? It looks like one of those ones where you got to like pick up a bunch of different items and combine them in kind of unique.
I kind of like that
ways.
though. That it's not just, hey, you're a space marine and you're gonna go blow the shit out of all these aliens. I like these different styles of games that are coming out, like Gone Home. You know, it's more of an experience, and this is that style of game, but done in the horror vein.
Yeah, sort of. It makes aliens scary again, which is what they needed to be. That's why. Well, I feel like that's one of many reasons why Colonial Marines was such a flop. It's because you just fucking mow down aliens by the hundreds. Like that's not it's like one alien gets loose on a ship, it takes the whole ship out because these things are scary and badass. I'm just leafing over the story here, seeing if there's anything I'm missing.
Ripley's daughter.
Yeah,
That's kind of cool.
Being developed by Creative Assembly, which they just released Total War Rome 2 in September.
Who made Colonial Marines? Gearbox, right?
I can fact check
Gearbox?
that. That
Borderlands
sounds like
guys. Isn't that right?
no.
Who's the Borderlands guys?
That is
Borderlands is-
Gearbox, but I don't think they did Colonial Marines, did they? Let's find out here.
No, I can't imagine they would.
Developers, yeah, Gearbox. You're right. In association with Nerve Software, which I've never heard of, and Timegate Studios, which I've also never heard of. Who knows? You know, it's getting to the point now where like teams are so huge and studios are so huge that even if they're developed by the same company, there could have been zero overlap between, say, Borderlands and Alien Colonial Marines.
A lot of outsourcing too.
Yeah, like who the fuck knows? It's almost impossible to tell that stuff anymore. But it looks interesting. It's good to see that there are next-gen games that might come out eventually. There will be something worth playing on these consoles sooner.
I'm going to give it till the holiday season before I consider picking one up. At the early.
Titanfall.
March is when it's going to happen then.
Matt, let's talk about Titanfall for a minute because they just they released the multiplayer count for that.
12 players, baby.
And I'm not upset by it, but I'm a little put off by it or caught off guard by it.
That sounds good.
Well, based on what Kevin and I saw at E3, it just I don't know. I expected it what they were showing for that trailer to be not super massive, but at least 16 on 16, not 6 on 6.
Well, there's also like they're doing that weird hybrid. I don't know if they have like a buzzword for it yet. It's not multiplayer, but it's not single player, but it's kind of both. So there are NPCs running around with you, and
because each player can
computer-controlled
have
players,
their
right?
own Titan with them, right?
At the same time, is that?
I
Like,
think that's
I don't know how easy it is to get those Titans, but 6 Titans on 6 Titans sounds like enough fucking chaos for me.
Well, I think what they said is at any given time you can have have a Titan following you. So there can be 6 players with 6 Titans following.
Yeah, because those things still battle when you're out of there, right?
Oh yeah,
They're
yeah.
on autopilot.
Right, okay.
So they have to.
So-
the AI is going to have to be pretty damn spot on for this in order for this to function.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So there can be, what does it say here? You can get out of your Titan and let it roam on AI mode, meaning there can be 12 pilots while running around and 12 Titans stomping below, as well as dozens of AI doing their thing.
Oh, so
Which
there
sounds-
is additional AI.
Yeah,
So they're like bots in the world.
yeah. Yeah, there's always been that whole, like they've avoided calling them bots and stuff. They're trying to kind of take a new way of thinking about that stuff. Like they're not bots now. They're just a different class of player. Like
I
they're
haven't
the
played-
super fucking retards that you just roll up on and kill every time. But, you know,
At that point,
second-class
I'd rather
players.
have that actual super fucking stupid person because they may pull something out of their ass and not suck. I mean, I haven't played a first-person shooter where the bots aren't completely terrible.
It's going to be a lot harder, too, because if you do have that super big retard on your team, then it's essentially a 5-on-6 or a 4-on-6.
That's the only thing that I worry about is like what happens when you get that guy who's not so great. You know, if it's one of 16 players, it's not such a big deal. But if it's one of 6 players, that's almost 20% of the team right there.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
But I mean, it also gives the good players more chance to take control of the game.
Yeah, and it just seems like there's so much stuff going on. Like, you are jumping off walls, and you're flipping in and out of mechs, and you're shooting guys, and you're like grapple hooking up to rooftops or whatever. Like, you're so mobile that if you had more than 6-on-6, the chaos would be. It would just be that at that point. It would just be fucking chaos.
I want to know how big these maps are going to be, though.
You know what? If they're going to put a player count out right now, they have obviously designed all this stuff around this player count. Mm-hmm. It's not like they designed a game and went, oh, we actually had to take like half the player count out. Well, no, it's everything in this game is obviously going to be designed for this 6-on-6.
Well, yeah, but I mean, these mechs can obviously cover a lot of ground. You're going to be wall running over a bunch of shit, and if you're stuck in these,
who knows about any of it? I haven't played it at all. I haven't had any hands-on time with Titanfall yet.
I guess I'm going based on what we saw in those trailers, and that just made it seem like this is huge open worlds, and I don't know.
Also, those trailers were probably produced over 2 years ago, so who knows what that game was then.
Yeah.
It looks great. It's going to be... I'm going to go and buy an Xbox One in a couple of weeks here just for Titanfall.
When does Titanfall come out?
March.
Hmm.
So...
Also, Infamous comes out that month, and...
Are you guys finding that next-gen consoles are pretty easily to find now?
I haven't even looked.
Yeah, since I've got my PS4, I haven't looked, but I'm assuming it'll be okay.
I see signs at all the Best Buys and GameStops that Xbox Ones are in stock, but since I shipped that one to you, I've only seen one in stock at Target. That's it.
PS4?
Yeah, PS4s are still really hard to find down here.
I said they sold like 3 million of them through...
3.5 million.
Yeah, good for them. I was kind of surprised at that number, because it came out in November, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like halfway through November. So that's 5 weeks.
And then Microsoft came out and like, yeah, we've sold 2 million, and Sony's like, bitch, please, we've sold 3.5.
And that was only in like certain regions, right?
I think this is global sales.
It's not even available in Japan yet.
No.
Yeah, so that's pretty crazy.
It's good for everybody. The more people that buy these consoles, the more third-party devs are going to get on board with, making games. It's great for everyone.
Yeah.
I saw that Beyond Two Souls sold like 1 million copies from October to December, whatever it was.
I still haven't played that. For as much as I was looking forward to that game, I still haven't played it.
I bet it'll be free on PSN Plus before too long.
Yeah, that's what I would just on.
I would just hang on.
Yeah.
Fucking great game, by the way.
I'm looking forward to it.
One of my game of the years. I think that made the list. That's all the news that I really have to talk about. Anybody have anything else they want to bring up here?
No, I'm good to go.
Stall for time for me.
Do we have emails?
Stall for time for me for a second.
I don't got much time left, actually.
Yeah, I know. Don't worry, man. Don't worry. I've been watching that clock.
You have 14 minutes.
Pay online with debit.
Yeah, pay online with debit.
No.
Cedric,
this was fun.
What do you got going on?
Very fun.
Tell us what you're doing after this.
My sister is having a bunch of her friends over to do a closet swap.
A closet
So it's gonna get
a little
my-
sexy.
It's all right. She has some attractive friends.
And they're gonna go in the closet, and then what are they gonna swap? What's being swapped in the closet?
Clothes.
Okay.
So this is nothing like 7 Minutes in Heaven.
No.
Oh,
damn it.
So wait, did one clothed person and one naked person goes into the closet, and then they swap uniforms, and it's like, see how fast you can do it? Is it like a movie bit?
Yeah.
Going different. Okay.
I don't think it's a slumber party game.
I'm interested to see the kind of clothes that Oliver comes out of this with.
Gentleman Quarterly.
He gets home, he's like, check out my new nightie.
Check out my Uggs.
Yeah, so it's gonna get really noisy in here. I know Matt read me the riot act about fucking all the shit that goes on in my house, but I think I've held up my side of the bargain.
Hey, for today, for the first show of 2014, you have podcast at ManaTank.com is email address. You want to write in some emails.
I even had to bribe Hideo with fucking.
Did you give him $5 too?
No, I gave him snacks.
Oh, $5.
Let's get him up on the stream. I want to see Hideo.
Come.
Cedric writes in.
Okay, what does Cedric say?
Cedric wrote in. Says, I was wondering what Swag thought or thinks about the always online function with the Xbox One to combat used games? Was it how you imagined it would be? Are you jumping ship from Sony to Microsoft? How about that backlash from the community? This was back in October, by the way. This is pre-consoles.
How old is this email?
This is old.
Yeah.
There's Hideo. Everybody look at Hideo.
I got you on the screen, yeah.
Where's Hideo?
What up? I loved Metal Gear. Thanks.
So Cedric, yeah, this is an old thing.
Yeah,
and
most of these emails are.
When they announced it, I honestly thought that they'd stick to it, and I'm like, oh, that'd be interesting to see. And I didn't really think much of it. I know there was a lot of backlash, but I'm one of the people who's like, all right, well,
they pulled out of that pretty quick. Actually,
Yeah.
It's not that never made it
days
to
later.
ship. Yeah.
No.
Which is arguably like that is one of the craziest things that happened last year was the fucking turnaround time on like, hey, it's always online to like, no, it isn't. Was it hours?
Well, and that messed up the console itself quite heavily because you know that architecture is built around that concept. So I think that's why we're seeing so many features that need to be added later because they're still trying to figure out how to change all that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's a lot of shit that is still real broken with that Xbox One. The party system is. I was at a friend's who had it and was like, I got to see what everyone's talking about, and like, holy fuck.
What's going on with it? Like,
It is just broken and never works, even at the best of times. And like, getting people into that party is worse than it fucking was inviting people on PS3, where you have to like back out, go to the fucking XMB, whatever they call it, invite somebody, go back into your game. It's like, oh god.
Do you think they released the Xbox One too early?
I don't understand how this happened because it was fine on Xbox, so I don't know what creative decision led to this broken.
I think
terrible,
a lot of it has to do with all the policy reversals.
Yeah.
It might.
Yeah, because if they had
does.
if they had that engineered to be always on all the time, and then at like the last second, when was that announcement? That was only like.
It was like 2 months before
4 or
release.
5. Yeah.
Yeah, like they had their press thing at E3, and then like the day after, they're like, nope, nope.
Yeah.
And I feel like at that point they said no, and then they had to go back and all right, we need to rebuild this.
Rip
and
it out of the box.
They had 4 months to rebuild a console.
Yeah, I like there was some real fucking shady, super quick backdoor dealings that had to be made, and I don't know if it's as a result of that, but yeah, something is still broken with that Xbox. Real broken.
Have you come across anything exceptionally broken with the PS4 that you've noticed?
No, everything.
No, I haven't.
It works fine. The party system, everything is totally functional. The share stuff is interesting.
This one has cross-game chat now, right?
Yep.
And how? That's awesome. Welcome to the next generation.
Works fine, man. Just like
Perfect.
just like Xbox 360 used to. No complaints. Nothing really stands out as exceptional, but I don't
You guys haven't come across any hardware issues?
I haven't. No, worked fine. I swapped my hard drive out. I forgot to talk about that. Swapped it out this week.
How'd you do that?
Super easy. Crazy easy. You take the case off, you take one screw out, you pull the hard drive out, you put the new hard drive in, you put the screw in, you put the case back together.
Did you notice that screw had the square, triangle, circle, X? That's awesome. That's detailed.
I bet that's going to lead to somebody's screw head somewhere stripping. Like just mashing through those symbols. It's going to fuck somebody up. And
I don't think so.
Like, why did you do this?
It's just stamped on the screw head. I don't think it compromises the integrity of the screw.
Mm-mm.
I would love if it did, because I appreciate how stupid it is that it has like the triangle,
I thought that was
square,
awesome.
circle, X on their screw head, but like,
What size
Why?
hard drive did you put in?
1 terabyte solid state hybrid, not a solid state
hybrid.
not a
How much
solid
of it
state
is
drive.
How much of it is solid?
It's technically none of it. It uses a little. It has like a 64 megabyte cache or whatever that is solid. I don't know how it works. Fucking PCs. Who knows?
The hard drives that we use in our teacher laptops at my school district, we use the hybrid ones, and they're 500 gig hybrid drives. But some of them are first 32 gigs are pure solid state, and some of them, the first 64 gigs are pure solid state. So they've got a little bit of both. And the only downside we've discovered with it is that the first 64 gigs that fill up on that hard drive automatically go to solid state, and then everything else goes to the normal plate drive. So I think the rationale behind that is that the OS, since that's going to be the first thing you're installing on the hard drive, is going to go to solid state, which...
That's not the same type of drive as I'm talking about. Because this one is a plate drive that has...
Yeah, that's what these are.
It's like 100% plate drive, but basically there is like... It has like built-in RAM almost. There's a tiny cache that it will use, which is solid state.
Okay.
Which is tiny though. It's like megabytes at a time. I don't know the workings of it. Kotaku had a thing where it was comparing load times. It's like, look how much faster it is. Why don't you put this in your PS4?
Cool.
And I'm like, yeah, why? Sure, okay.
When I went to go buy my hard drive, somebody tried selling me on that, and I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about, so I'm going to just go with the conventional hard drive. So I just bought one of those plate drives, and now we're like reading up on it. I'm like, fuck, that would have been pretty sweet.
How much did you spend, Matt?
It was on sale, like $90 or something. The drive.
$90? I spent like $90 on mine. Fucker.
Yeah. We might have. I think you and I have the same one. I remember you linking me the drive. It's like a Seagate.
Mine's not hybrid. That's for sure.
For sure.
For sure.
Where did you get this drive? Like, where did you order it from? Did you just go to Best Buy and picked it up?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. Okay, I thought you ordered one on Amazon like I did.
No.
I'm kind of contemplating putting a new hard drive in my PS3 just because I filled the shit out of mine. And
the PS3? What?
I download every PlayStation Plus game. Every one.
You start erasing them. You're living in the past.
You can just keep them. You download them and then you cancel it, and you can always download them again later. You don't have to have them.
Yeah,
they're always on your drive.
I like looking in that folder and seeing like you have 74 full titles and you have 200 PSN titles. I like seeing that. It makes me feel good.
I guess if that's what you want to do. I don't know. It's not like I'm using the PS4 for anything. It's just.
I think people are starting to arrive. I've got to go.
All right. Yeah, I can hear them. We'll wrap it up here. Podcast, ManaTank.com. You want to write in some more emails?
No,
I guess you can phone.
Okay.
You can phone Oliver too if you want. Now that everybody's coming back. That's it. That's all I got to say. Follow me on Twitter if you want. I'm the Matt Eads, and who knows when another one of these is going up. But the beauty with these hangouts is that I can schedule them, and it'll just put a countdown. So. Watch the Twitter, watch the YouTube channel. If there's a big live event that's like, hey, this is going to start in 3 days and 19 hours, probably what this fucking thing is.
Yep.
Would anyone else like to plug their Twitters or say farewell? Did you guys forget how we do this?
I was just waiting for you to finish your sentence. I don't like to interrupt.
I've been so used to the factory sealed the way they do it that I just kept silent.
Yeah.
Any one of you, feel free to say your fucking...
You can follow me at Honest Pizza.
Follow me at Swagger Regular.
Follow me, Dinner Dangles.
We'll see you next time. Hey, yeah, I don't remember how we do this either. Anybody want to leave off on a joke?
No, your face will do just fine.
I have a joke. I want to leave off on a joke. This is a clean one. You can tell it to your friends.
Put that rice hat on and ring the gong and then cut it. That's a joke.
Midget walks into a bar.
It's a rice joke.
You guys, Midget walks into a bar and he's freaking out. He's saying, "Someone stole my wallet! Someone stole my wallet!" And I remember thinking to myself, how could anybody stoop so low?
Why did you have to do that?
On the ManaTank Podcast. Thank you.